good time zone. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. Would y'all be mad at me if I said I got Zhang Fengyi on the first free 10 poll, just like I did for Tong Tong and Rosie? Because I didn't. No, unfortunately. Unfortunately, third time was not the charm. Got really lucky with the last two. This time I did not get her on the first 10. I only pulled for the first 10, so we'll see how lucky I am after that, but it would have been wild if it happened a third time, though. Just saying, that would have been cool. Which would have been pretty cool. Probably wait to pull for her once I get all the free tickets. Not like I'd be necessarily ready to use her anyway. I'm still extremely deficient in weaponry. I was really hoping that this update was going to add some changes to the weapon system. Gotcha, but unfortunately, not even a mention, not even a little teaser or something. Nothing. Hopefully I'll get a lot. I mean, one good thing about not getting a character immediately is that I can get more stuff for their weapon. I'm also probably going to pull on that other banner that's not out yet. I guess it's going to come out later. So I guess I'll try and get Levitine so I can have a completed roster for, while I can, eventually one day I won't, right? One day. But this early on with this few characters, might as well. I'll probably stop if I have terrible luck with it. I'm not a fool. But it's worth a try while the opportunity's there. And it will give me more weapon opportunities, which is really what's more important. Because it's not even about getting a signature weapon at this point, it's just about getting any weapon, please. We'll play that next week. For now, though, we've got to finish retracing our steps. I've also slowly been making my way through the icebreaker event, getting all the medals. I have to say, I tried the Bastion defense yesterday for the medal. I only did one level because, oh my god, is it such a slog. It's so long. Why is it so long? I had to do it twice as well for the medal. I had to do another one. After the first one, I was like, I gotta wait until the next day or something. It's so long. I don't remember. I guess I didn't do it for the first icebreaker. I don't know if I got all the medals for the first icebreaker or if there wasn't one requirement for that one. It's so long, though. I'm almost done with it, though. Just gotta do one more of those, and then that should give me my last two medals, which then will give me my third medal. think. And then I should be done. Whabam.
According to the schedule, you should not be resting here right now, Doctor.
See, lasers a lot today. I saw that you can apparently heal the ice block that Premnex forms on the objective with peripheral healers like bards. That's pretty cool. Makes it even more powerful. But what happened last time? A lot. A lot happened. Divine Bead Court was outed as collaborating with Victorians to oust Silver Ash. And in fact, well, New Great Elder Odso wasn't technically, I mean, he was collaborating, but he was like, you know, what's the word? The phrase? Like probable deniability, I think. Plausible deniability. Or he was letting other people collaborate within the court after they swore that once it was over, they'd all kill themselves in a mass purge. Also, he admitted to killing Silver Ash's parents, so that was a thing. Meanwhile, Enya, Joanna, and Astinine go to the Kajimirsh Yerig mine, trying to find this oranginium vein, but they actually find nothing. It's not even an oranginium mine. It's an ore iron mine. But then they realized that the frequency that the observation station picked up is the same frequency that the Saintus bell uses when it rings, produces rather, when it rings. And therefore they think that actually the frequency they picked up has to do with Kjeragandr, the Farenmut, and that maybe it is actually the Farenmut who has been protecting Yerig from catastrophe. So now they're going to try and find the Farenmut. Meanwhile, Victoria has continued to make its move to oust Silver Ash. They bought up the Kajimirsh mine. Apparently you can just do that. But they didn't find what they were hoping to find. Also tried to like imprison Silver Ash, but he turned the tables on them and instead imprisoned Atso and the other collaborators in the court because they found the clerics who were trying to sneak out the Victorian spy, Caroline. But then the priests get freed from a guard who's sympathetic to them, so that's going to be an interesting thing. Silverash actually steps down from Carlin Trade and appoints Gnosis as the new CEO. Tados isn't dead. The reports of her death were greatly exaggerated. She's been scheming with Silverash and is trying to capture a spy who she thought was a spy, this investigative journalist woman who has shown up here and there but isn't actually a spy. She actually wants to do a tell-all that Victoria's been like censoring her and everything, and Victoria's been spreading fake news, literally fake news on the radio and everything about Silverash and Carlin Trade. And I think that's everything. Oh yeah, Caroline did escape Yerig and met with her Victorian contacts, who then were going to kill her. No loose ends. Except it turns out actually she wasn't just a Victorian spy, she was indeed a Maylander spy, and then the Maylanders showed up and saved her. Amazing. Road of the Heartseekers. The path of the righteous is narrow, fraught with hardship and snowstorms, with fiends and terrors. For the heart has never been readily found, for the heart is forged through countless trials. So, according to you, that Duke Castor had her spies embedded in Yerig for a long, long time, and it's all to prepare for future annexation? But how is she gonna do that? To be more precise, this is my educated guess based on what I've learned in Yerig. So out of all the Victorians sneaking around Yerig, you happen to be the only actual reporter who's after truth and righteousness and such like? Well, you don't have to be so rude about it. My name's Alberta. If you're familiar with the Victorian newsprint business, you would have heard that name in conjunction with many articles about the truth that were deemed unprintable. I take pride in my work no matter what they say. I'll believe you for now, Little Miss Reporter, but this doesn't mean you're completely free of suspicion. I've had my guards rip out the spies your people sent after the explosion. If you're telling the truth, then take us to your cruise station. I've got a lot of things I'd like to ask the agents you mentioned. You wouldn't refuse me, would you? But... move. Degenbecker grabs Ratados and the reporter, pulling them into the back room as a stun grenade from who knows where goes off into the interrogation room. What the heck? In the distance, a brown-tailed guard who was unable to get out of the way in time screams. A throwing knife has pierced his heart. Oh my gosh. Damn it. Kjeragandr pokes her body out of the doorway, hiding back behind the door as another knife flies towards her. She watches it tremble as it embeds itself in the doorframe. These knives are the ones used by the Trilby Ashers, of course. You two stay hidden here. I'll go confirm the scale of the raid and their strategy. As she finishes speaking, she suddenly draws her twin weapons, knocking two knives thrown from the shadows out of the air before springing toward it to attack. The dust she kicks up forces the reporter to squint. You. What the hell's going on? How do the Trilby Ashers know about this place? Did you leak it to them? Yeah, but I've been watching it this whole time. That can't be. I didn't. I even checked over all my things, made sure nobody was following me. Look out! The room shakes violently. The reporter pulls at Ritados' sleeves, moving her to the other side of the room as fragments of the damaged ceiling smash into the floor, where they just were. Then how do you explain all of this? Wait, there's still one place I haven't checked. She picks up the camera hanging around her neck, removes the lens, presses down on the shutter, and lifts up the reflector. A faint red light glows within. She pulls out the suspicious component, a miniature tracking device. So that's where it was hiding. Another explosion, and thick smoke slowly seeps into the room the two are hiding in. Kjeragandr emerges from the smoke, her breathing somewhat ragged. 3 Trilby Ashers with the first group. I fended them off for now, but the reinforcements they called for are already on their way here. I will keep you safe, Ritados, but we need to leave. Let's go to the Vinebeat Court. There's a mountain trail nearby that leads to one of their secret passages. They won't dare act rashly against the court. It'll buy us some time. Wait, I need to come with you. Since the Trilby Ashers will keep chasing us, I'll make a record of all their assassination attempts in Yerrig, and compile them together with everything we have done so far. I'll pass them to a local friend to get the word out. This will expose all of Victoria's dirty deeds to the public. I can't let myself be taken in by them. Enough babbling. I still need to find Enceades for a joint questioning. You'll be coming with us even if you didn't want to. Yeah, I do want a Trilby Asher character. Yes, Ritados is alive. The 3 of them have entered the Vinebeat Court's northern gate. The escaped reporter is with her, and the renowned Black Knight is guarding them. What orders from Her Grace? Wait, did you just say that Her Grace will personally be visiting Yerrig? That's our chance. We could kill her. To Carlin Trade Headquarters. And to Enceades Silverash, son of the former chairman and my kinswoman Elizabeth, alongside all the people of Yerrig. This is an open letter within which is written all the wrongdoings of Enceades and Carlin Trade both. With this letter I shall formally protest all the grievances that Victoria and Yerrig share in suffering from that were wholly avoidable. She the boss? No way. Castor, I don't think Castor fights, but maybe she does. Chairman Edelweiss, I'm glad you're here. What is it? Slow down. It's a letter by the Duke of Castor. The contents have already been disseminated to the public. It's all about Yerrig, mostly Carlin Trade. What did she write? About how we're not acting in good faith in Sir Enceades. Give it here. Notify all members of the board that we are to have an immediate meeting at HQ. Tell everyone to remain calm. I wonder how she's disseminating it to the public. I guess maybe... Like, I guess the radio broadcasters are talking about it, but if they are Kjeragis, or Kjeragi or whatever, would they even want to listen to Victorians? I don't know. Encidi's first offense, and the source of all this tragedy, was to seek benefit from Columbia, brute forcing the carving out of a great pit and the construction of an observation station atop Mount Carlin. In the wake of it, catastrophe descended on Kjerag. This much is undeniable. Amidst the terror and disarray, he committed his second offense. The humanitarian aid sent by Victoria was instead pocketed by him in the name of negotiation. To legitimize this shameless act, Encides went on the attack against Victoria, leveling baseless accusations and slander against Victorian tourists and expatriates. This was his third offense. His ultimate act of toying with the heart of the public was also his fourth offense. He colluded with Retracing to fake the Browntail matriarch's death, and through duplicity led Clan Browntail into hostilities with Victoria. I mean, that's not really true, though. And you can maybe say the other stuff, but technically, if Retracing was already the matriarch, she would have just been able to say Clan Browntail was against Victoria in the first place. Victoria also has proof that Retracing is hidden within the court. Those citizens who doubt this simply need to examine the premise. Though his guilty heart has led him to station his private army there, this is all a bit much. Hey, when I saw the suspicious Encides earlier, you guys shouted me down like I was a conspiracy theorist. But it all makes sense now, doesn't it? Since when? The whole letter's just Victoria's say-so. The fifth offense explained it, didn't it? Encides told Retracing to kidnap the Victorian reporter and hide her in the court. Can't be a lie. Wow, they worked fast. That just happened. Can't be a lie with all those details, can it? And the sixth offense says in order to control the court, he arrested all the clerics who wouldn't obey him. That matches. The court invited us all up the mountain for blessings, but Dagonbreaker had some men stop us. What about the seventh then? It's obvious that Victoria wanted to get a bigger slice of the pie, but Carlin Trade refused them. You're a real idiot, you know that? It's proof that Encides has gone and betrayed Kjerag. Victoria has made a fair point about Carlin Trade going against all their contracts, and now we've the ones stuck with the bill thanks to Encides' stupid decisions. So you think we should just do what Victoria says? They want Carlin Trade to stick with the old mining agreement and put Encides on trial. They said they'd do a joint trial with the Vinebead Court. He'll be fine. And Encides would be lucky if it just got banished for his crimes. The only crime he's done is letting you run your mouth in this rebuilt pub. So he's been doing all the good while there's always someone else doing the sinning. Wow, what a coincidence. Oh, I don't understand any of this, but I know it's always us who have to suffer for it. Come on, trust in Sir Encides. He's helped me out before. What the hell was that? Outside. I heard a lot of trouble talk on the way here. Please tell me you've been doing more than admiring the snow. I shouldn't have asked. Is everything that happened still as you expected? If I said yes, would you believe me? I would. Because we're not unprepared. During the recent growth window, Carlin Trade. I am afraid it is you who is the optimistic one this time, Gnosis. You know that, no matter how many plans and contingencies we make, things will inevitably exceed our expectations. From the three clans, the Vinebead Court, and stretching out all the people of Kjerag, Victoria's methods are plain to see. As someone who always bets every chip he has, you are never afraid of risk. Thus, all of this is all I deserve. Yo, battleships! Dark clouds cover the twilight sky. The steel behemoths of Victoria trample across... Oh, those are Victorian battleships? Never mind. Yikes. trample across the white snowfields. Castor's fleet. I've heard this fleet was the one that drove the devils, you can't say that, out of Victoria during the Battle of Londinium. After the battle concluded, Castor took the time to restore its flagship so that her glory may live on. How many upon this great land can boast of the might to stand against this force? We chose to walk the more difficult road. It is time we meet the end of it. Maybe Kjeragandr will wake up one last time and destroy the battleship fleet. That'd be cool. Phew. Why are all of Kjeragn's mountains so hard to climb? Just bear it a little longer, Elena. We need to avoid the court, and this is the only road that does so. A wrecked cloud beast clambers up onto Elena's shoulder out of nowhere before jumping back onto Joanna's embrace, letting out a high-pitched cry. Ha! It's laughing at ya. Laugh all you want. I've done more exercise today than the past 20-something years I've been alive. Ow. Enya looks at the crestfallen Elena, letting out a light chuckle as she turns the corner. She sees a simple camp by the side of the road, not far from where they stand. There are many clerics of the Vinebead court warming themselves by the fire amidst the crowd. Enya picks out a familiar figure with but a glance. Why'd you stop, Enya? Is that Elder Atso? I do wonder if she shouldn't just come out and be like, yeah, I know what's going on, guys. Stop trying to take over my authority. Who? I didn't think I'd run into you here. Okay, she's out. Because you should not be here, Saintess. You know, Elder, when you're talking with the Saintess, you should be more. I know, and yet I also know this is not the road she is meant to be on. Does he know that Victoria tried to kill her? I would assume so. What if it is to search for Kjeragandr? I shall seek her in their time, all shall seek her in their time of need. So what is it you need? You instructed me to go on the pilgrimage, so that I may atone for the sins of all of Kjeragandr to her. Thus, what I need is to find her, and pray to her for forgiveness. I had wanted you to get out of the court at the time. And in doing so, the court would not be hindered by me. I had hoped that while you were off on the pilgrimage, we would be able to sway the Duke of Castor into handling Enceades, and that when you returned, it would be both parties worn and weary. The court would then take advantage of your return to declare a miracle, thus getting true control. But your brother declared war on the court too soon, and I could not allow myself to fall into the hands of Castor or Enceades, whether as their prisoner or as their puppet. I presume you being here means you are thinking of being like the court clerics of old, going to Carland, the ancient refuge in the legends, where you can wait for the moment your enemies are worn. As such, there is no need for you to continue with your meaningless circuit, Saintess. Follow us to seek refuge atop the mountains. There will come a time that the people will beg on bended knee for you and us to appear. The silent elders of the court behind him stand up one after the other, forming a semicircle before the Saintess. Joanna glances at Enya with unease, her hand subconsciously moving towards her crossbow, but Enya merely gives her a light shake of the head. I can't stop. The next catastrophe is nearly upon us. Oh yeah, I forgot there was another catastrophe. What? The Saintess is right, Elder. You must have noticed the strange weather these past few days. We've already found an important clue about the heart of Carlin. We have the opportunity to learn the exact reason why a catastrophe came to strike Kjerag. Maybe even the truth behind Kjeragandr. It is meaningless, Elder. Because Kjeragandr does not exist. What did you say? When I left the court, you told me quite the opposite. Kjeragandr can exist within the plants, the stones, our words and deeds, but you will not find her true form atop this great land. She is not real, only existing within our imaginations. Not even you can blaspheme against her, Elder Otso. When I was young, my faith in her was much the same as yours. My father and uncle sent me to the court as a child, forcing me to secretly aid Clan Browntail with their mission. Yet all I wanted to do was to serve her in all sincerity. When the Great Elder tasked me with managing the Hall of Writings, I was giddy with glee. Every word to do with her, whether they be fragmented pages or ridiculous essays, were studied by me over and over. But the more you read, the more you realize that the so-called Kjeragandr is nothing more than a piece of scripture, assembled by mortal men. Dare you deny it, Saintess? You too have seen what is said to be the original copy. It is no more than a few scant phrases, nothing like what we have today. It's not true, is it, Inya? From marketplace chatter to historical records, even foreign legends from who knows where, add cold gales and snowy peaks and you have the miracles of Kjeragandr. I persisted in my inspection of everything, hoping to find even the tiniest shred of evidence unlike the rest, but all I found were more and more archetypical tales. I even found signs of adaptations left behind by previous court elders, in the margins of a few books. Why didn't you tell anyone? And what would I say? What is Kjerag to you, Saintess? That is not a question any one child of Kjerag can answer. Because Kjerag already has its answer. This is a nation of faith. Enceodes has tried to undermine it. The Duke of Castor has tried to swallow it, but even they dare not defy Kjeragandr. At least not openly. But if shit doesn't exist, then who founded Kjerag? Our country was never one built atop flesh and bones. Rather, it was her country that was built atop our flesh, our bones. It was the ancestors of the people of Kjerag who, amidst these snow-capped mountains of despair, labored tortuously to create a place where they could survive. People could never understand why fate decreed they should struggle in suffering while others thrived in merriment. And so abandoned upon these hopeless rocks, they had to seek consolation elsewhere, so that they may continue to live. And the cries for some almighty leader, and the prayers for majesty and mortality of every generation of Kjerag, Kjeragandr was born. From the moment of her birth, she became the foundation of Kjerag. Because of their need for faith, generation after generation must repeat a lie. Kjerag needed virtue and law, art and aesthetics, needed family and tradition. With perfect timing, she would appear by our sides, leaving behind a few revelatory words of wisdom. From this came an unbreakable order, one that has lasted time immemorial. So in your eyes, this lie must be maintained at any cost, so that Kjerag itself can be maintained. Indeed. Every nation has its own lie. Kjerag is Kjeragandr. I disagree. A lie can bring temporary reprieve, but it cannot become the eternal law through which we live. You believe it is able to maintain order, so you care not for the sincere longing of the people. You treat their feelings as a tool you can control. When this longing tears through the veil you have constructed, the Vinepeat Court, and the faith it tends to shall be shattered beyond repair. From that point of view, you are your hated Enceudis' greatest ally. There is only one thing I wish to ask you. Do you believe Kjeragandr exists? But... She sifts through her mind, through all her memories of that head maid, but she has already forgotten how she looked. Big wisps of emotion all forgotten. There is no memory, no person she can vouch for her. No one who could offer her words of comfort. Her heart lies empty. I do. You claim this is a lie, Elder Utso, which is proof that there is a truth to correspond with this lie. And so I believe in the passion and goodness preached by the scriptures. I believe Kjeragandr exists in Kjerag. Besides, I already found the path to her. If you must refute me, then come witness alongside me. Your faith is pointless, Saintus. Even greater disaster awaits Kjerag. Enceudis' short-sightedness has already left her faith on the brink of collapse. This is our last chance to save her. Ever since the pilgrimage began, you've treated me as part of your conspiracy. Because we are both dedicated our entire lives to the faith. It is impossible for you to not understand my devotion. Then what is it you wish me to do? As a suitable hour, return with me to the court to regain control. We shall have to look at our specific circumstances to deal with the Duke of Castor. But Enceudis must be eliminated. You are a kind soul and cannot bear to harm your brother. I understand. Enceudis must leave Kjerag. This is the most we can allow him. This is pure coercion. In return, I can take you to the place you seek. When I was young, I had searched all of Carlin. Since you must face the truth, this will be the quickest way to do. I accept. Enya. But on one condition. If we really do find a proof of Kjeragandr, you shall renounce all your schemes regarding Enceudis. Very well. Kjeragandr above, witness our vows. Yeah, so they've talked about it a few times. I wasn't 100% sure, but it does seem that Kjeragandr has deleted herself from Enya's memories. Which I guess is a power that we saw it with Shu. But it seems like maybe it's not just... I thought that time maybe it was a Sue power. But it seems like maybe that is just a Farenmut power. Cold steel. Some still futilely long for a warm spring.
Victory belongs
I'm gonna
to
switch
the
that skill, I think. I want to see the crystal objective if I can. Time zone Sultan. The rumbling of some distant commotion disturbed the scant snow atop the trees. What should be a silent street is filled with an ominous warmth. This used to be a road at the foot of Mount Carlin that led to the Vinebead Court, but now Victorian soldiers bar the path as the treads of their tanks crush its surface. A blatant, impassable barrier. The loudspeakers atop the tanks play a message in clear Yeregi. People of Yereg, do not panic. In accordance with Victoria's policy regarding the current situation, we will ensure everyone's safety. This operation will not disturb the everyday lives of residents. We simply suggest everyone stays at home in this weather. Ah, yes. We're invading you, but don't worry. We also have a warning for the criminals who have abducted Victorian citizens and for those who associate with them. Release the hostages immediately or we will take immediate action. Say, mister, mind if I cross the road? I need to head home to get the fire going. It's about dinner time and my wife's waiting for me. This area is off limits. You either take a detour or you wait. But I'm just trying to get to the other side of the road. If safety's your issue, you go ahead and search me. I just got food on me, nothing else. Are you with the Vinebead Court? No, I'm just a smith. Then take a detour or wait. I've crossed this road for decades now. Don't cause trouble with them, mister. Nothing good will come of it. Just listen to them and get out of there already. Yeah, but you know, you do want to cause trouble for these kind of guys. Become unmanageable. I will not be repeating myself a third time. The old man totters away. He turns his head to look back. Through the window of his workshop, his wife looks back at him. He waves his hand, telling his wife to leave. Kjeragandr above, I wish to hear of your wrath. Invaders, how dare you? Get out, you hear me? Get out! Victorians this, Victorians that. It's the word I hate hearing most these days. Didn't I think there'd still be anyone brave enough to kidnap one of them at a time like this? Don't you get it? It's obviously just some worthless excuse. Now that the Victorians are here, Yerig's about to change. Volpsvolsten! You're all just sitting back to watch while going on with your pessimistic talk. You're more spineless than a starving burden beast. I'm gonna show them the real Yerig. Volpsvolsten means dumbass. If you're gonna make a ruckus, do it somewhere further away. Don't drag me into this. Right. Go to Carlin Trade. They've got guards, don't they? You're all a bunch of cowards. Cowards? I get it. You've got guts, and you don't mind getting your hands dirty, but do you have a family? If this is the outcome of the negotiations of the three clans in the court, Carlin Trade, if none of them are gonna do anything, what can we do? Kjeragandr above, forgive me for my fear of my cowardice. Anger, fear, unease, all sorts of emotions roil across the unarmed crowd. They have no effect on the armed soldiers across from them. Their voices are drowned by the roar of the engines. The deck of Gloriana. Wow, who's this? Caster's personal guard captain. Sick uniform. Also, are they... they look kind of like they are related to Silver Ash in some way. They look like a snow leopard. Your Grace, our fleet has encircled the passes into Kjerag's mountains. The vanguard force in Kjerag has also surrounded the Vinebead Court. Kjerag's own warriors are powerless to resist us. The whereabouts of Kjerag's Saintess are currently unknown, but we shall ensure that the moment she appears, we will locate her. The situation is still under control, so forgive me for speaking bluntly. There is no need for your Grace to attend the battle in person. Do not be hasty, Philippa. Choose your words wisely. If I may correct you, Kjerag is not our enemy, but a valuable partner in cooperation. But Colin Trade still has not given an official response to our invitation to negotiate. I can imagine. Enceades is a prideful man. One assumes that having to process his failure must be inconceivably difficult for him. You must have heard some of the tales about him, Philippa. By all calculations, he is your kin as well. If he really is the talented genius the rumors paint him as, then why did he abandon the chance to stand by our side, deciding to bury himself in the mountains instead? I simply don't understand. Like I said, he really is the prideful sort. I shall give him a little more time. 6 hours should do. If the government of Kjerag continues to refuse to accept our agreement, then things can only end in a rather regretful manner. Understood. There's still one trifling matter I am unsure is worth your gracious consideration. The matriarch of Clan Browntail, whom by all rights should be dead, we have discovered further traces of activity from her. She is currently hidden within the court, under the protection of the Black Knight. Enceades would not go to great lengths to hide someone unimportant at a time like this. It is not worth mentioning, but I am not fond of variables. Find her and find what she is hiding. As your command, your grace. Understood. I shall carry out this assignment, and to a limited extent, then await further instructions. All hands take note. Team 1, guard the front. Team 2, head to the north gate to lock it down. Team 3 and 4, find high vantage points to watch the court. Be on guard. If you allow even a single soul out, you shall have to answer to her grace in person. I have not received any orders to allow Victorians in, sir.
I understand. I shall await here for a reply.
The chairman has informed me not to accept any invitations. If you...
No matter. I am happy to wait here patiently, just like how every child of Kjerag awaits for bitter winter to pass. Speaking of, how do you people prepare for winter? I am rather curious.
I fear you may not have the opportunity to learn for yourself.
I am not here representing myself. My own experiences are not important, Mr. Edelweiss. I believe these terrible conditions call for giving everyone an equal chance to express themselves, don't you agree?
Why are you here?
Rest easy, Chairman Edelweiss of Colin Trade. I have come here for one very simple task. To invite Mr. Silverash to negotiate on behalf of Her Grace. A simple, peaceful conversation. All for protecting the bond between our two nations.
You have brazenly sent an army to surround Kjerag, aimed your cannons at civilians, and dispatched your troops to blockade our markets. Are these actions meant to be part of this peaceful conversation?
Mr. Edelweiss, surely you've heard of gunboat diplomacy. Her Grace simply wishes to let the true master of Kjerag know that a speeding warship cares not where the people atop its deck run. For the most, their best choice is to hold the handrail tight. Profound understanding can come over the passage of eons, or it can come in the blink of an eye. It all depends on the commands you have received.
Get to the point, Victorian. You shouldn't need me to teach you how to say what you're here to say.
I would much rather call it sending a request, Mr. Edelweiss. A request from Victoria is a rather rare sight these days. We cordially invite Mr. Silverash to a spirited discussion with Her Grace about the future of Kjerag. We shall ensure the meeting goes smoothly. Her Grace has also commanded none be harmed.
Then we too have our own request. Victoria is to immediately cease this military invasion.
I regret to inform you that such a thing hinges on the results of Mr. Silverash and Her Grace's talks. I am unqualified to make such a promise to Her Grace's stead. For right now, my only hope is that there shall be a place warm enough for me to spend the winter. A fleeting hope that it shall be Kjerag.
How should you present yourself when you face her? I have asked myself that countless times until tears of remorse flowed down my face, for I could not find the answer. Just like how, as I waver in the cold wind, I cannot find anything. The heart of Carlin is mere mystic rhetoric, a painting within a dream, admired amidst the mountains. The Vinebeat Court says that when you are on the blink of death, you shall see her face. I believe this is my last chance. Yet I am unable to prove anything to you. I see only my mother by the bonfire, my wife under the curtains, the life I should have. You have come to the end of this faithless follower's epitaph, one written by him for him. His last request to you is to wipe away the snow upon this tomb. A lonely grave stands by the road. Inya and Atso stop in front of it.
All I did was bury him. He only had time to carve himself a marker before he died.
So the bones we saw along the way are all
the bones of humans. Only human beings would use value and meaning to paralyze themselves. To climb Carlin, to walk to her side, to witness her existence, they are willing to give their lives.
The Saintess's right hand brushes against the worn wooden marker, completing its master's last wish. Cold wind sweeps past her fingertips, as if urging her to grab hold of something. She lifts her head towards the snow-capped peaks, as her ears catch the sound of a young woman laughing. Elder, did you hear? She swallows down her unfinished question. The laughter echoes between the mountains and fades until it becomes nothing more than memory.
I didn't hear anything. Please proceed, Saintess.
Inya hesitates for a moment before nodding, continuing onwards towards the darkening horizon, towards the peaks laden with thick snow. The wind picks up, tangling itself in the Saintess's clothes. It leaves behind snow stuck to her brow, like how it sticks to the withered trees she walks past. I need to try harder. I can't keep up with Enya if I have to keep pulling you. Yeah. We're only 2 steps behind. No need to stand so close. Right. Just now, you were talking to something, right? I think I saw it too. But there's nothing here except snow and rocks. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Elena forces herself forward a few more steps. Behind her, the snow where she stepped is suffused with a deep blue glow. At the same time, she has the faint sensation of someone watching her, though the only one by her side is Joanna, gritting her teeth as she pulls at Elena's arm. The billowing wind has numbed her brain. It must have been her imagination. As the thoughts run through her mind, Elena hears a sigh.
You took it upon yourself to enter a gamble you are fated to lose, Saintess.
This is...
Indeed, the depths of the mountains, the location of the heart of Carlin.
I did as you asked, Enya. I dragged her all the way here. We're here, don't just stand there. Huh. Wait, this... No, it can't be. Elena puts all her strength into shaking her head and patting her cheeks before taking out a bevy of instruments, waving them against the cave wall. It is an ordinary cave, one that can be seen anywhere in Kjerag. Its only unusual property is its proximity to Mount Carlin's peak. Enya heads deeper within, her breathing picking up pace as she does. The deepest part of the cave is only 100 meters from the entrance, barely wide enough to fit 6 or 5 men. The rocks are covered in a thin layer of moss and lichen, and the air is permeated with a humid scent of fungi and soil.
You are not the first who wished to find her, and neither was I. My greatest wish during my youth was to witness her true form, to prostrate myself before her, and so I checked every book in the halls of writings, read every line of every poem, all to find proof of her existence. Many before me left behind records and analyses. One mentioned this place, the only cave atop Mount Carlin. I followed the endless rugged mountain trails before finally finding myself here.
The records say that the clerics of the court once sought refuge in the depths of the Carlin.
Just so. Perhaps you still recall the story of the saintess who roused Kjeragandr.
According to legend, when Kjeragandr sent divine punishment, the Vinebeat court chose 100 girls in succession to ascend the mountain and pray. The last of the girls was the one who quelled her fury. But in truth, that final girl was the daughter of a clan leader, which incited the great clans to ally and lay siege to the court.
During the massacre, the surviving clerics fled here, after which came the so-called miracle. Peace returned to Kjerag.
And how would you explain this miracle?
Look at Kjerag as it is now, and answer there shall be clear. Who has ever heard of a war that came to an end for no reason? Even the murder of a girl can transform into a sublime miracle. So too can political compromise become the stuff of legend.
Murder. So that is how you see the actions of the court of old.
Indeed, to us, to use murder to seek comfort, to allow ignorance to spur on the heart, this is the bloody death the court has borne in the name of Kjeragandr. With no god to promise us eternity, our every step is on thin ice with no room for inattention. I have brought you here to learn the truth behind Kjeragandr, Saintess, and now I shall wait for you no matter how long you struggle to process it.
Enya, come over here quick. This pile of rocks at the deepest part of the cave doesn't seem natural. It's more like a door that someone built.
The clerics of old made this place into a sanctuary. Finding things here is hardly strange.
In other words, behind this door is most likely the hiding place of the ancient clerics, and a place where countless secrets of Kjerag are hidden.
What is more likely is that behind that door you'll find absolutely nothing.
Then let us bear witness, Elder Otso. Enya half shuts her eyes as she walks past the old man droning on about history, slowly approaching into the cave. She takes a deep breath and presses her body against the cave wall, like a reunion hug after a long time away. The soil sticks to her hands and cheeks. Moss pokes out from under her hair. It is as if she were fast asleep atop the earth. I can feel it. According to my readings, Enya, behind this super thin rock wall, there seems to be a great cavern. But there's no other way in. I couldn't blow it up if we have to. Wait, this is holy ground. Do it. What, Enya? Oh, Kjeragandr above. Pardon the intrusion. It's all in the name of truth.
I can only hope this mission won't prove to be a waste of time.
Okay.
Everything is under control.
Where's their most annoying guy? I'll take him down.
Make your decision. For the snow shall bury this all.
They really want me to put people in there, but I guess I could put her here, actually. I think yeah, that's it. What the heck? Those range tiles were creatures? Awakened by avalanches, dealing a splash damage. What the? That was surprising. That's kind of cool, actually. Damage based on the distance moved. Well, easier said than done.
Spring breeze, timely rain.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually.
If I will flee, it's no use. Finally, am I up?
Your struggles are feeble.
Wow, okay, that just one shot even shoe.
Finally, am I up?
Make your decision. Thy trampling of this hallowed ground shall beget bitter rue.
Finally, am I up?
Time for me to get serious?
You can tell nothing's been threatening in this event because I've only ever had to use like 3 characters every map. I think the avalanches are just too powerful.
Standing by.
Mission accomplished.
If we don't get a giant Kjeragandr eyeball, though, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm in position. As Her Grace's latest instructions state, Retados' feigned death must have a reason. She most likely is carrying important information on her person, and is so to be captured alive. This is the front. The courtyard is empty. Prepare for direct combat. Do not attract attention. End it quick. The only thing to watch out for is the Black Knight, who is most likely still here. But where is she? The intruder looks about warily, holding his weapon tight. Not good. The black Degenbrecher flies at unbelievable speed towards him. The intruder is sent flying by the incredible force, slamming against the walls. I heard more fighting outside. What in the blazes is going on? Quiet down. The trick isn't easy for us to handle her outside right now. Degenbrecher's risking her life to protect us. The only thing to do right now is sit down, shut up, and not be discovered. I heard the Braga say I'm a hostage abducted by Kjerag. Why? Heh. Your fellow Victorians got their weapons out and charged up their tanks. They're not letting anything out of this place. I mean, technically she was abducted, so that's not a lie. So they are here to rescue, or are they here to keep people in the know locked up in here so they can get their other plans done? The answer's obvious. You mean they're using my rescue as an excuse to invade Kjerag? That's what you said, and it seems reality agrees with you. How did it all come to this? If you've got a way to get the information out, you can ask your fellow countrymen that question. When I came to this place, I thought I could help the oppressed people. With my camera and my words, I'd be able to let more people know about the true Kjerag. I believed all that I did had meaning. Should I be thanking you for your kindness or something? Alright. I'll treat you as an actual kind-hearted lady then. So don't play dumb with me right now. Why do you think what you've seen is the true Kjerag? And who do you think is doing the oppressing here? Yeah, I want to say they're the people very oppressed at all, actually. Kjerag's a pretty nice place, despite the recent political turmoil. Melting atop the roof becomes water dripping into the courtyard, causing ripples in the intruder's pooling blood. Before him, a face shrouded in light looks right back at him. Within the great hall, the candle flames are like chained bloodthirst, raging and roiling. Such power. No wonder the reports on Kjeragandr emphasized the Black Knight's presence. I knew you people would try to sneak in. You. To tell you the truth, I can't tell which of you is which underneath those masks. That colleague of yours who came to Kjeragandr before, surely he told you this land is not one you can trample as you please. Indeed, even your fame is known to us. We made sure to make ample preparations. So you intend to win through numbers? None of us could hope to claim victory over you. It is only a mission, nothing more. Your clothes may mark you as elite. But here's something you wouldn't know without feeling some pain. If you wish to pass, it will only be as a corpse. Come. It's rare that I have the chance to go all out. I suppose I should consider you all willing to die. She takes up a killing stance as the air is filled with the muffled cries of unsheathed weapons. With drawn blades and cold gleams, they slowly step forward, stepping onto the puddle reflecting a muddled sky. Upon this holy ground, a savage melee is about to begin. The humid air warms and dries. Falling snow melts, steam rises, droplets splash about. From the clash of steel against flesh come sparks of scarlet. Not bad. Again. Does make me wonder, how many Trilby Ashers are there? Just in general. I never thought it would be like this. Should I not have come to Kjeragandr, Madame Ratados? That's a question you need to answer yourself, along with your country. On the Kjeragandr side of things, I might have also considered using one as pure-hearted as you, but I can't really blame Victoria for doing it. So what exactly does the information I have mean to Victoria and to Kjeragandr? They're just making a fuss out of you to make it look like the facts are already settled. Don't take it too seriously. We're hostages, nothing more. I feel like this is all rather absurd. Well, that's one way to sum it up. If your camera still works, this would make some excellent material for you. If I walk out that door, the rest of you would be fine, right? If you did, they'd point their swords at you and confiscate all your material. You yourself might even disappear without a trace, with nobody else knowing what had happened to you. If things have come to a head, you're the one who's meant to understand them the most, not me. So are we supposed to sit here and do nothing? I don't think the Victorians want to lose you, Miss Hostage. Just calm down, wait, and then... I don't care what your plan is, Nsudes. It's time to put it into action. Yeah, I was about to say, we haven't seen Arktosh in a long while. Now we have a Pale Roach Warrior. Reporting in. We've built some temporary fortifications, just like you ordered, Sir Arktosh. The enemy fleet hasn't fired yet and said they're marching towards a place 3 clicks from us. How should we respond? Our explosive reserves. We've moved all we could. We'll be risking our lives, but at the very least, we can delay the Victorian advance for a while.
Good. Go get the troops into formation. Meanwhile, I'll have a chat with these Victorians.
The ship stops in front of him, its dark gray armor plating reflecting the sun's light. This is one of the rare moments in Arktosh's life he's forced to look up.
Who's your commander? Tell him to come out for a chat.
My commanding officer does not wish to come to blows with you, Arktosh Paleroach.
That all depends on why you've come to Kjerag. Don't tell me. You've all just lost in the woods.
Her Grace has already made everything clear in her open letter. We must defend Victoria's interests, while keeping Kjerag stabilized following the catastrophe. All we ask for is the mastermind behind Kjerag's troubles and City Silverash to receive the trial he deserves, which I believe is in line with Clan Paleroach's thinking.
The only thing I'm thinking is this. If you can take even one more step forward, you'll pay the full price of it. The only way you'll be going any further into Kjerag is over my dead body.
Back already? What's the commander's orders? No changes. We keep guarding the final checkpoint. Once other people are in, they'll definitely find Kjerag's arsenal. They've been searching for ages now. They still haven't found anything? Yep, even if Kjerag can't make any big moves like they said, I'm not willing to bet that Ensuti's guy doesn't have something up his sleeve. Maybe. Another transport truck. Well, this one's all yours, buddy. I'm all tired out from checking all those beans last truck. Fine. The guard waves down the truck, slowly approaching him. It obediently comes to a halt. Sorry, mister. As per Her Grace's orders, all vehicles passing this point are to be searched. Unload your cargo. A thick baton smacks into his head with a bonk. Before the other guards can cry out for help, a shadow appears behind him, tightening itself around his neck.
We've cleared the road again, sir, just like the plan said.
Update Sir Gnosis on the situation. Get those supplies transported. We can't keep him waiting. She's unsure whose blood is blurring her sight as it runs down her cheek onto the corner of her mouth. The taste of iron tang she has not tasted in a while. Her twin Dagenbreckers quiver as they fend off blades coming at her from all directions. While her enemy's wily tricks have left her wounds all over her body, she has not yet taken a single step back. Seven or eight of her foes lie slumped on the floor around her. Yeah. A lot of Trilby Ashers is the question. That's the answer to that question. There's a lot of Trilby Ashers. You're at your limit, Black Knight. In truth, you can still choose to lay down your arms and surrender.
You're all mouth. Lock up your silver tongues and come at me if you were brave enough.
Even if you must bleed. Would you not regret dying here, Knight?
Meaningless drivel when said to someone who holds their own life cheap.
Clang. She takes advantage of her foe's moment of complacency, sending him flying. Most times she could not let out a blow this strong, but now her strength is fueled by a rage that had not burned in a very long time. The mere sight of the scar-laden knight's furious form is enough to strike fear into the hearts of her enemies. Some of them take a half step back.
What are you so afraid of?
Uh-oh. The knight takes a shaky step forward, leaving behind 2 trails of blood upon the ground. Her eyes shine brighter than ever, but it is the shine of bloodshot eyes. Her body is fast losing its ability to stand, yet her unwavering fervor still flows from where she does not know. The candles of the hall slowly extinguish. The reflections on the floor become all the more blurry. In the end, she staggers. The Black Knight, but she's invincible! Several smoke grenades fly into the courtyard, covering everything in a cloud of fumes. Who's there? There aren't any court guards. Someone our intelligence didn't account for is intervening. We can't continue the mission. Abort mission. Retreat with the wounded. Made it right on time. Victoria's elite hooligans won't be sorted out that easily. We need to find somewhere safe. Wake up, this is no time for a nap. Yo, it's Sharp! Incredible. How does Rhode Island always show up? Every time. You're Sharp. Take it easy with the talking. You're wounded. Did the doctor send you? Silver Ash has been in contact with the doctor the whole time. After hearing about the catastrophe in Kjeragandr, the doctor figured you'd run into trouble. While we do have our hands pretty full at the moment, the doctor did promise that if you ever found yourselves in a pinch, we wouldn't just stand back and watch. I've already called Rhodes Island for reinforcements. They should be here any minute now. What about Enceades? No need to worry. I believe Silver Ash has managed to take the reins of this situation. Just hang in there, Dagenbroker. You're through the hardest part now. Are we able to maintain our current output? Yes, sir. Ammunition stocks will be as expected, but, Chairman Edelweiss, I can't help but doubt things. If what we're facing is the Duke of Caster's fleet, then even if we raised our efficiency tenfold, we still wouldn't be able to compete with them. No need to worry, just follow the plan. We'll handle the rest. I've worked for Carlin Trade for 11 years now, Chairman. I know what it's brought to Kjeragandr. I believe in the both of you. It seems you're ready now. I suppose you don't need me for any further reminders, Master of Clan Silverash. Since this is to be a negotiation, I thought I would change into something more formal. His altar is just just his formal wear. Caster's army has laid siege to Kjeragandr, while their advanced forces have control over several of our streets, forcing the civilians back into their homes. Arktosh has brought his men to confront the Victorians, but they are a frail force in comparison. The Duke's envoy came by Carlin Trade, asked me to pass you an invitation to the negotiating table. She is waiting for you, Enceades. It sounds like the situation is still within our expectations. Look at you admiring this lonely battleship. Does not seem too weak as it is now. Lately, I've found myself often thinking about a day from many years ago.
the day my parents received an invitation from Clan Browntail. My father told me that the reason why the Browntails and the Pale Roaches did not support us was because they had not seen what he had seen. If someone can take a step forward, even if it's only a single step, even if it's the infamous Luca Browntail. Hey, thanks for the raid, everyone. We're right at the end towards of the event. They knew of the worst case scenario, but they did not hesitate. Now I am at the age at which they passed away. Looking back, it seems that some things haven't changed. But at least now I know why they did not hesitate. In the wake of their passing, I followed my clan as we left Kjeragandr to head to Victoria. It was a rough start. I was learning almost out of habit as I got used to the disdainful looks of my Victorian classmates. The only thing that kept me going was the knowledge that one day I would return to Kjeragandr. But in the end, you went to Victoria too. I fear I shall never forget the look on your face when I first greeted you at school. I was simply surprised by the way you greeted me, asking me if I still remembered our childhood promise like some sort of naive fool. Do you still want to make Kjeragandr big enough for the both of us? But it was also what convinced me that everything you said, the future you envisioned, was no mere fantasy. Thus I hitched my rope to Carlin Trade, which leads me to today. Today is far from enough, Gnosis. I am about to meet with the House, the most ruthless of creditors. No matter if I am there to see it or not, I will give Kjeragandr tomorrow. Finally, I want you to know that it's not just us supporting you. Many other people of Kjeragandr do, too. Carlin Trade's years of toil were not for nothing. If you were to ask me what I had wished to hear at this very moment, you always were able to get people to tell you exactly that. Do you have an example? Like when you told Dagenbrecker you would treat her as nothing more than a pawn, and that when her contract expired it was up to her if she stayed in Kjeragandr. But you already knew her answer. Perhaps why I wish to hear such words is precisely because I am not so sure you would give me such answers. Are you afraid? When I declared I would make Kjeragandr into a grand stage big enough for us more than 20 years ago, I signed away all rights to be afraid. You have experienced it for yourself. I am sure you have not forgotten. But at times, I need a few words of encouragement. So, have Dagenbrecker and I managed to provide you with them? Without a doubt. I am truly glad to have you both. Perhaps, in the Kjeragandr to come, we will no longer need to make these unserious deals, or to rely on the Vine Bead Court to have faith. Perhaps you two will have the better of me, and enough with the self-flattery and Ciades. Go and see the Kjeragandr of your dreams for yourself. If you are a coward who dares not face his own dream, then so be it. Dagenbrecker and I have our own things to do.
Like right now, I should go. As you wish.
The light of Carlin was shining on us.
Maybe the boss is just a battleship. I don't know. We're about to find out. Even a giant block of ice. Stranger things have happened. By Kjeragandr. Blessed be her name. Everyone's always saying by Kjeragandr, but no one's ever saying for Kjeragandr. It could just be Kjeragandr. She wakes up grumpy or something, I don't know. The rock wall collapses with the first blast, revealing a deep cavern to the spelunkers. Just like I thought. Looks like you really can go deeper. Can't see much further than the tunnel entrance. We'll need to go down if we want to explore. Enya? Her question echoes through the cave. The Saintess does not answer, for she is watching the babbling old man purse his lips tight. Seek not my temple, but my heart. I await you, Elder Otso. His legs are like wizened tree roots, his dried-out throat like a shallow pool in the dry season. There he stands, unmoving. I shall stay here and keep watch, while you enter to do what you must do. But didn't you make a vow with Enya that you'd prove whatever's inside isn't Kjeragandr? If you don't come with us... I have already made myself clear. I shall keep watch outside. If she truly does exist, then she should come out herself to greet me. Fair enough. Elder, it seems as though, rather than learning the truth, you would much rather be blind to evidence of her. No, I would not. I would never. There are no answers here. Then why did you bring us here, yet refuse to bear witness? No, she does not exist. Daughter of Silver Ash, and you too, do not pretend you have not seen. The hunters of who tan furs with frozen fingers, the gleaners who choke upon dust, the Oropathy haunted with their torn skin. Have you not seen them? They who kneel upon the dirt until their knees bleed, all to beg and plead to Kjeragandr for salvation. No, in the end, their miserable lives. No, to end their miserable lives early even. While you huddled together in your warm houses, making merry, it was I, and the vine-beard court who would go where you were unwilling to look, to the homes of the impoverished and the destitute. It was I who soothed them, I who kept preaching to them that none shall be abandoned. Even if you were born to a lifetime of suffering, there is still a God who loves you.
It was we who built the nation where people can greet their ends with a smile, but Kjeragandr, this arbitrary liege lord, this king who sees all as her cattle, she should save these people. Save all of Kjeragandr. Yet, she is aloof, magicking up some miracle every once in a while to show her power. Why is it only ever barely a handful of people saved? Now you even wish to go see this monster, this tyrant, to ask her to deny me, to deny the order we have so painstakingly built. I cannot.
What more is left that could support this old man? He collapses into the dirt, crying out in anguish, as if his frail body were struck with some invisible hammer.
Speak. Tell me. Why does she not know? Why does she not understand? Why do you stay silent?
Great Elder, why is he so upset? Elder Utso, I understand where you are coming from. We are not allowed to witness the true face of God, only through her admonishments. Her creations can we describe her. But I still wish to believe that no matter what I see at the other end of this cave, my faith shall not be swayed. The virtues and commandments, the knowledge and wisdom she has conferred upon us, they have meaning. I merely wish to see clearly what road the children of Kjerag have followed. Enya turns and walks into the deep cavern without the slightest hesitation towards where her faith lies. Come on, give me the eyeball. Deck of Gloriana. How long has it been now? It's been 5 hours and 57 minutes since we sent your ultimatum, Your Grace. I must say, I did not expect Enziades to choose to respond this way. 'Tis a pity things had to end like this. Relay the order. All men are to... That. Your Grace, we've sighted one of Kjerag's high-speed battleships. You don't mean... How many? Just the one, Your Grace. Even without the aid of binoculars, those standing at the top deck can see it. In the distance, a battleship slowly emerges from a snow-draped valley, its hue that of silver ash. Perhaps everyone is thinking the same thing at this moment. This ship, no matter if you compare it to the fleet it is facing or the mountains behind it, is rather on the small side. Silver ash. Your Grace, the ship is hailing us on a public frequency. Their message states that this is Kjerag's high-speed battleship and her captain is Enziades Silverash. He sends his greetings to the Victorian Duke of Castor. Oh. But does this stunt of his mean he is here to negotiate? Or to start a war? He says he hopes he can have a pleasant discussion with Your Grace, and he hopes that discussion can take place aboard Your Grace's Gloriana. Very well. Welcome our guest aboard.
It's been a while, most esteemed Duke of Castor.
I trust you have been well, Enziades. It's true, it truly has been quite a while. Whenever a youth such as you stands before me, it reminds me that time is fleeting. Oh, how is one meant to endure such a thing?
Though much time has passed, I shall never dare forget the aid you gave me at the time, alongside your kindness towards Carlin trade.
You were far too hasty when leaving Victoria. You only remembered to bring along Castor's aid with you, while leaving our friendship behind. I'd even hoped that one day you would invite me to Yerrig as your guest.
But since you are here, then I should extend you a host's courtesy.
A host's courtesy, you say? I find myself rather curious, since you have been expelled from Carlin Trade and the Silver Ash clan is branded as traitors in bed with Victoria. Then who have you come to me as?
It is simple. I am here as the sole authority of Yerrig. I shall speak for this nation as we discuss matters.
Dictator Silver Ash at it again. So he's a dictator. He's literally a dictator. Don't believe that propaganda that his sister Cliffheart produced before the event came on. Where she's like, he's not a dictator. He's not a bad guy. He's a dictator. Why, Kjeragandr, this place is huge. It's beyond imagination. Was this place really an artificial refuge? At the very least, it was hidden by human hands. Do you see any ruins the court may have hidden here, Enya? No, I don't. Wait, did you hear that? Sound like rocks falling onto snow. No, it's more like, based on these readings, it's rhythmic like a heartbeat. Even the stone here. These veins on it are like actual blood vessels fluorescing to the pulse of the sound. How would you explain it? My instruments are picking up biosignals. It's going to be hard to believe, but there's only one answer. We're inside the body of a living being. But how can that be? Well, I guess the eyeball can't be inside of it, but... Good enough, I guess. Good enough. Whoa. What is this? Nearly tripped over it. Seems like there's some sort of statue here. I nearly bumped into it too. Let me turn on my emergency light. The shimmering light dispels the darkness, revealing the thing that is blocking their path. Huh, a nice sculpture. Why is it crawling across the ground? It's not the only one. Look, there's another one there. It seems like there's even more of them this way. They're clothed in the same way the ancient peoples of Yerrigs are described in historical records. But did those people have the technique to sculpt like this? Craft and sculpture of the time were cruder. Enya, what do you... Enya? I'm afraid that these are not statues. They're not? They are past saintesses. What? They are from the last time Kjeragandr vanished. They who offered themselves up as sacrifices to beg her to return to Yerrig. Enya brushes her fingers against a sculpture's face. Her wrinkles, her flesh, her cheeks puffed by gritted teeth, her eyelashes, her tears staining her cheeks unevaporated. A girl dead from hypothermia, her delusional relief and trembling from the cold merged into a single expression. But she said crawling across the ground. Oh, I guess the statue looks like it's crawling across the ground. I was picturing it actually crawling across the ground. They were encased in ice after their deaths, preserving their faces and postures. They were all looking the same direction. They were all looking for her answer. The women follow the gazes of the sculptures, turning to look behind them. What is that? I've never seen anything shaped like that in Kjerag. Is it? It is Kjeragandr. It is what the people of the past saw, and also, its height and scale are far beyond ancient techniques. It couldn't possibly be a relic of the past. But this cave has been sealed off for ages. Who did this and why? The frigid wind from nowhere, laden with fine snow, slams into them. Anya, look out! The statue is calling me. The sound of a beating heart gradually becomes an ear-splitting din. She cannot hear the shouts of her companions, not even her own breathing. The only thing her senses takes in is the statue's icy radiance alongside an irresistible urge. The moment the Saintess's hand strokes the base of the statue, a great shock envelops all present. A vibrant scene rushes into the Saintess's mind. Yeah, where'd it go hiding now? I just saw it. Its shadow darted through the grass and vanished. How did I lose track of it again? Past experience advises her to stoop down. She was still a child the first time she set foot into the forest. But what was it her father taught her then? Listen up, Joanna. Hunting isn't easy. You need to be careful, you need to be brave, and you need to be determined, and you need to be merciful. You need to pay attention to the tracks left by every animal. Footprints in the snow, scratches on the bark, fallen hairs, spoor, and traces of buried food. She walks by an expanse of snow, trees, and bare soil. Still no sign of her prey. Her gigantic prey, nearly the size of a small mountain, seems to have disappeared into thin air. Don't rush. Even if you can't find anything, don't rush, Joanna. You're a hunter. You'll find your game. For she has promised that you may enter the forest with bow and crossbow, and the forest shall give you the meat and fat you require. Aye. I see it, over there. The shadow fleeing out from the underbrush is swift, shooting out over the trail towards the depths of the forest on the other side. The girl waves her arm behind her as she shouts, Dad, heading into the forest from the side. Let's pincer it. A voice replies from the empty forest. Go, Joanna, you and me, we'll catch it. Go, you'll catch it. You're such a faithful girl, never missing prayers or ceremonies, always concentrating when you carve statues of her, even telling her your thoughts every night. She will grant you a full belly happiness and a tomorrow to wake up to, because of your piety and time you have given her. If I can actually hunt that thing down, we won't have to go hungry this winter. It'll be enough to feed my brothers and sisters, and I can even give some to the old lady next door, and the lady who just had a baby across the road. The horns can be carved into figures for Kjeragandr, and the skin can be made into a new set of clothes for my sister. There is a warmth in her chest to go with her joy, as if something were swelling within to fit to burst. Her legs are faster than ever. Her hands do not tremble. She closes in on her prey. Nearly got it. Please bless my hand, Kjeragandr. Her crossbow bolt flies through the air. It screams, shattering the serenity of the snowfield. The girl sprints after her quarry into the brush. She can almost reach its thick fur. There is nothing in her grasp. Only a chunk of oranginium crystal in her arm, growing like wildfire.
What use is your faith? Kjeragandr will not protect you. The land shall have its fill, and you are but its prey.
This room is vaguely or very familiar to me. Though I have never seen it, I am well aware of what this is.
The cramped, gloomy room is filled with the scent of pine oil, thick to the point you can barely walk through it. It is joined with a dry heat that resists description.
This is the home of my thoughts.
The old man gets up from his chair. He steps forward as if he were about to measure the size of the room at his feet. 1 step, 2 steps, 5 steps, 10.
10 steps, 10 is enough. A narrow compartment, soundproofed, insulated, unknown to others, suited for clandestine discussions. If I had put it that way, if I had extended the invitation that way, then the silver ashes. What did I say when Luca came to meet with me? Did I advise him to not commit this unpardonable sin, or did I not? Did I advise him to return to the righteous path, or did I not? Did I agree with him, or did I not? Did I believe the new things that couple brought with them would destroy the soul of Kjeragandr, or did I not? Did I tell him how to build a hidden room within the parlor of the Browntail Manor, or did I not? Did I tell him to store pine resin, flammable materials, dry wood, and fire starters? Or did I not?
The fragrance intensifies to the point that it stings the nose. You forgot our deal.
Brother,
You were supposed to take control of the Vinebead Court and work with me so that all of Kjeragandr would serve under the Browntail name. Why are you always such a do-nothing coward?
no, it wasn't supposed to be like this.
You know how much blood is on our hands just getting us to this point? Look at these 2 girls, Ratados and Cyrus. They're your own flesh and blood. You're not going to close your eyes at the silver ashes and pale witches put them to the sword when they grow up, are you?
All my life I have told many lies, cheated many people, including those I love. And those who love me, those I trusted and those who trusted me. I once sincerely believed that great power was the answer to everything, but I was wrong. My decades in the Hall of Writings washed my heart clean of my arrogance and stupidity. I understand that the only thing left in my life was a mission to serve the great truth, the very virtue that Kjeragandr carved upon each and every one of our souls. And so to repent deeply for the injurious plots against my neighbors, for my despicable tearing away from parent-child, for my lust of power, for the lies that poured from my deceitful tongue. If Kjeragandr truly exists, how could she ignore all I did?
Fire. A fire from out of nowhere. Or rather, it is a fire lit decades ago, a well-crafted trap that has finally found its prey. A fire that has burned for thousands of days finally sweeps in furiously, engulfing all that Odso sees. Get out of here. It was us who found this unfreezing lake first. Nonsense. We're the ones who found it first. Our brains and our agility let us look out from the top to tallest branches, so we're the real masters of the lake. Sure, you've got good eyes. Lets you spot water and fruit, but you got weak limbs, and you can't do barely anything with wobbling like a baby. If it wasn't for our strong arms smashing those rocks to open up the mountain pass, nobody would be able to get here. And what about us? It was us who crossed the streams, who led the way for you, and us who guard the lake day in, day out. We're the ones who make sure parasites don't dirty the water, so we're the ones who should own the Heart Lake. Why must you fight among yourselves again? There's enough water here for all to drink. and enough forest for all to build homes. My word, these fruits and crops, how are they growing out of nothing?
Is this one of your miracles? We should make you our leader.
From now on, we wish to hear your will, to follow your teachings.
It is all of you together who awakened me. I have seen all the hardships you endured as you came here from every corner of the land. Your instincts tell you to slay one another, and your instincts tell you to aid one another. But what can be achieved through strife can also be achieved through sharing and communication. It is already so difficult to survive upon this land. Must you add harming each other to the mix? From here on, you need not regard each other as enemies. Enjoy what this land has to offer as equals. It was the beginning of it all. She appeared amidst the people, worked her miracles, resolved their disputes. 3 clans began to live together. From then on, this land had a name. That background is really interesting, the rainbow. It also looked like really similar to seeing the portal. Especially with the snowy landscape and the ice lake. Your Majesty, this book recording the history of Kjeragandr is complete. Pray look over it at the once. We do not dare forget a single line of your teachings. We shall abide by your every commandment. No need. You must remember my words, and the road you have followed here but most importantly, remember the first kindness you felt in your hearts. You must reflect upon yourselves, see clear your own hearts, and make them clean. So long as you hold goodness within your hearts, you shall not walk down false paths. I have nothing more to teach you. The road ahead of you is yours alone to walk. I believe it is time for me to rest.
Her Majesty has left. She told us to live as we have, but if there is nobody to command the 3 great clans, how can we have faith in others? No, we must hurry back to our lands and warn our people. We must beware the invasion from other clans.
Kjeragandr left, and as she did, she returned authority to her people. The wheel of history turned back to the beginning, and it seemed that the peaceful days of the past were but a fleeting dream. Humanity returned to where it started.
Indeed, you are the next saintess, but please prepare your luggage.
My family still needs me. It's sowing season after all. They won't be able to till the soil without me, and if that happens, they'll starve come winter. What about the lady from before? Where did she go after she came back from the mountains? Didn't you say that only she needed to climb?
We need an answer, and need someone to bring that answer back to us. She was unable to fulfill her duty, and so the task falls to another. It is a great duty, and the weight of the lives of all of Kjeragandr rests upon your shoulders. Please, come with me, Saintess.
Rubbish. Complete nonsense. I can't believe you would lie to a little girl like that. Don't listen to him. Go, tell your family that you shouldn't throw your life away like that. Oh, Watcher above the clouds, God of Kjeragandr, I ask that you return to us. I beseech you, respond to my voice. Cold. Mama is so cold. What must we do, Kjeragandr? Seriously, I keep shivering so much. If the bell bothers Kjeragandr, if she gets mad, what do I do? No matter the wrongs we've done, I beg you, do not abandon us. Oh great, Kjeragandr. Enough, enough. Don't come any further, you'll die. Why all this for a lie? Kjeragandr has never... So you saw... your... Yar... Did you really just only now figure it out? Enya, you're more muddle-headed than I thought at times. No way, she didn't know this whole time. Enya? Oh, that's a cool map. What the heck? Carlin Saintus. Friendly unit, the chosen one. She rings her bell again and again for you, and for her. Framinex is praying towards the statue. She can rouse Kjeragandr so long as she is given time. Avalanches will interrupt her prayer. Protect Framinex and keep the ritual going.
When were the seeds of this tragedy planted?
Okay, so this is a very different type of boss fight. I see. Made in the snow and ice, the eons and the frost both weigh upon her. Beneath her silent visage, you see the complexity of her regard, regret, relief, and resolve. Didn't she give it away when Yar says the statue doesn't look like her? Yeah, or the time she, I believe, helped like teleport Framinex to Rhodes Island. I think it's less that she didn't know and more that she was starting to forget Yara, right? So I think it's like she remembers it now and is surprised again. And I think Yara's always been a tease, so I think she's just teasing her. Or the time she told Enya that it'd be awesome to have cannons on the back of her. She definitely knows. She definitely knows. She's just confused. Am I supposed to... There's a health bar there. My beloved Kjeragandr, I ask that you hear my prayer.
Everything is under control.
She's attacking me. That's rude. Maybe this is like that one boss. Was it Kyobi? Where like you can kill them, or you can just do the mechanics. And the fight will end automatically. Also, there's like a whole other area here.
Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. As ice yields to gentle warmth's embrace.
A snowball. Oh, that's going in here. Oh, snap. Okay. I mean, I don't want to shoot Yerrig yet, so... You do have to protect her, though. Yeah, so that's going to drain... Doing the actual mechanic drains her health, too. It's exactly like the Kyobi thing. Ow. I asked countless times what made Yerrig Yerrig, what made us the way we are. Alright, Yera. Alright. I might have to shoot her. Maybe I won't actually even shoot her. Yeah, she's she's okay.
Real estate question. This wonderful
I can't even
realm
shoot those things.
Or a panoramic view of hell.
What?
Which did you want again?
What am I doing?
Very well.
Divine judgment conditional.
She's gonna die. You'll see.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, we don't actually shoot her at all. Okay. Silverash just got yoinked out of existence.
Maybe you didn't come straight to me. But don't forget to pay my fee straight away.
Where's the most dangerous spot? Send me there.
Everything is under control.
Whoever said a wheelchair couldn't get up onto a steel beam?
I want to believe that the things you left upon this land are blessings, not shackles.
That all you got? Standing by.
That did not work. Too far away, I think.
Make your decision.
But what's a try?
Ice yields to gentle warmth's embrace.
Roar. A word I've not heard in a long, long time.
Ha! Standing by. Standing by.
If you're really incapable of settling this, I wasn't branch and bone bear weeds. Mounds and ruins bloom fields.
Now where are we going? Down
Where's
there?
their most annoying guy? I'll take him down.
Real estate question. This wonderful
What?
realm
How did she get moved?
or a panoramic
Onto
view
a
of
range
hell?
tile? That's crazy.
Which did you want again?
Very well.
Divine judgment traditional.
Ow.
Ha! Standing by.
Go ahead. Target eliminated.
Phase 2. Oh snap. That's what she looked like. Kjeragandr, as white, as beautiful, as vast as the great ice fields, she is mesmerizing and magnificent beyond reckoning, then, now, and forever.
I wasn't supposed branch and bone bear weeds. Mounds and ruins bloom fields.
Some kind of laser beam?
Is that all you got?
Target eliminated.
Make your decision. Thy trampling of this hallowed ground shall beget bitter rue.
Standing by.
Oh, Primanex is fighting too.
Divine Judgment Traditional!
She's shielded? I think she's shielded. Oh, now she's dead.
Finally, am I up?
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. See, doesn't it look like the portal? The icy wind slowly comes to a stop. Like when it first showed up, I thought it was going to be a vision that Elena was seeing. And it was going to be like a tie-in because she's with Rhine Lab. And I was going to be like, oh snap, that's really cool. But now it's just a rainbow. But it looks like the portal. The icy wind slowly comes to a stop. An azure lake gleams above the vast, tranquil snowfield. Yerrig's winters are cold, and the water freezes over naturally, yet its surface remains a mirror, softly reflecting the blue of the sky. A figure appears at the center of the lake. Yar. Yar, is that you? Enya. Yar. What should I call you, Yar or Kjeragandr? Oh, you. Surely you haven't forgotten. Kjeragandr's what the people of the past named me. But Yar shall always be head maid to the Lady Enya. Enya thought of many things she wanted to say during her long journey here. These thoughts sway through her mind alongside all the questions she wants to ask. Like a cup filled to the brim, from time to time it would make some noise, but now that she looks inside after her eternity of waiting, she finds it dry, long dry. What should she say? What could she say? The friend she was searching for stands before her, her warm hands caressing the cheek and tip of her nose, just like she always did. While I can't say it's entirely unexpected, I am still pleasantly surprised you managed to find this place in the end. I was really worried about you, Yar. I didn't know where you went, and people were terrified after the catastrophe struck. I had no choice but to go on the pilgrimage as a saintess. I went by many places before ultimately discovering these ruins atop Mount Carlon. Did you say you went on a pilgrimage? In this season? You idiot! Well, forgive me. As a maid, I should not speak to the saintess in such a manner. Enya, I'm just glad you're alright. Her friend's voice is still as dear as it ever was. Yar, those visions I saw just now, were they of the Kjeragandr, or the Yerrig of the past? They were. Those were my memories. Memories of when I walked the land alongside the people countless years ago. The tale of how the Yerrig of then became the Yerrig of today. You are here in the forbidden land of Kjeragandr's body, and so through her eyes you may witness history 1,000 years past. I'm in Kjeragandr's body? How should I explain it? You started in my arm, and crawled your way into my chest. This lake, is it an illusion? Is this the heart of Carlin? The heart of Carlin is actually the name of this lake. What you see is how it was 1,000 years ago. At the time, in the depths of the mountains, there was a lake that remained unfrozen year-round. Desperate wanderers, discovered this precious source of water, and here they took root and multiplied. In time, they came to see it as a heart. The heart pulsed, and Colin's flesh began to grow. And so the people built an altar here, so that they may honor the miracle that Kjeragandr blessed them with. I saw the statue in the ruins. It was huge, exquisite, completely unlike the statue by Lake Silbenerherza that we referenced ancient texts for. Was it something only people who have seen the real you could have made? What are you, Yar? Oh, now that's a question and a half. What a headache. A very, very, very long time ago, I only knew that my body was massive, so no different from the mountains and rivers themselves. The land was once teemed with my kin. Before that darkness descended, they already had names assigned to them by beings of the past. Arknights, children of the planet, lords of the land. In comparison, I am not that much older than your most ancient civilizations. If you were to ask me, I prefer to see myself as a form of life. Really, I much prefer the name Kjeragandr. Unfortunately, I am not what the people crave. I am not a god who has power over all. Let's unpack that. That does definitely seems then that the Arknights are native to Terra. So they the land once teemed with the kin. There was a lot more Arknights. Before the darkness descended, I would assume before Oranginium, they already had names assigned to them by the predecessors, Arknight. Children of the planet, lords of the land, those are new ones. So yeah, that definitely does seem that they are native to Terra. So then that means that the one that was mentioned on Talos, not the one in Enfield mentioned, the one in this game that was mentioned on Talos, must have been brought there. And is just chilling out, I guess. Unless in this universe all planets have Arknights, and that's like a thing. Kind of like the World Soul in World of Warcraft, if you know that. Still, though, they are different, right? They're still, the Arknights are still life form wise different from the other native things of Terra, i.e. the Tikas, and I guess the other wildlife. Since they are so powerful and immune to Oranginium, and have like ecosystems that live inside of them and can make things and do everything. But they still treat you as one. They believe in the commandments you have given and ascribe everything to you, good and bad. And those saintesses, that was not my intention. I once went to sleep for a long time, But apparently my departure terrified the people, and they tried to search for me, to rouse me, and they became lost. I sealed this place away in the hope that the people would forget this terrible mistake of the long past. I know that. Of course I do. You're not some evil, sinister spirit who would smile in the face of innocent girls freezing to death. Enya raises her hands, holding onto the warm hands cupping her cheeks. I am not the god that the people need, nor have I ever given any commandments. I am nothing but another one of the lives born upon this land, born without rhyme or reason. How could I possibly have any wise words of survival to pass on? But when I took the form of man and walked among you, I discovered, to my surprise, that though your people are frail, you possess an innate, near instinctual power, one that allows you to help one another, to overcome all difficulties and survive upon this dangerous land. In your language, this power is known as virtue. So that's how it all came to be. It was not I who taught you, but rather, it was you who taught me the meaning of life. As for the name of Kjeragandr, and the form that represents her, those are creations of men. But I do not believe them to be lies. The name of Kjeragandr is how the power you wield manifests itself, nothing more. I think this is the Kjeragandr you seek. And so she said my path is, in the end, your path. People tried to confirm her appearance, but ultimately, what they were only attempting to see clearly who they themselves are. But the paths people walk for the most part, are not level roads. Most of the time, they are like confused burden beasts, circling about the same place over and over. The people of Yerrig once brought you back among us, and so our faith was steadied. Yar, will you come back? Enya, I think I can't stay by your side this time around. But you promised me. You told me that you wouldn't just leave all of a sudden, that she wouldn't simply spirit you away. Enya, listen to me, Enya. I'm afraid I have to break my promise this time, but I never meant to lie to you, ever. You're my friend, one of countless years and countless people, my one and only friend. I wanted to accompany you forever, until the end of your days. I even thought I would be the one left behind to endure our separation. But what happened? What could possibly have happened to force you to leave? There is no such thing as an eternal union. Parting is simply a matter of time, and my time has come, that is all. I just didn't want the day to come so quickly. Things happen at their most suited hour. You are unlike the other children who call out my name. You're not some helpless girl waiting for my answer as you are pushed about. I started out the same as them, but now you walk the path of your own choosing. You are able to find the solution in your own heart. You have braved great trials I know nothing of, experienced great danger I could not help you with, and now you stand before me. You are my Enya, my sweet, sweet Enya. You are the little burden beast who managed to jump the fence. You have a heart that resists all discipline, a bright, witty mind. You are the first saintess to come pray with resentment and bitterness in her heart. The snows of Carlin are tall and far, as pure white as stacked clouds. The wind blows from deep ravines, gently sweeping by the great land of Yerrig. Snowflakes fall from the wind's embrace and melt with spring. They travel through Carlin streams into the lake. They seep into the depths of the earth. From there, the sun's rays lift the water. The mist return to the horizon. They pile up into clouds before turning into the next round of snow. Their hands refuse to let go of each other. The warmth as they lean upon one another lights a spark in their bodies. Go, Enya. But where? Go drive away the last of the darkness, and usher in a new tomorrow.
Yeah, but they could probably use some help with the battleships.
The illusion disappears like waking from a dream. The cave is still as gloomy as it was earlier. The Saintess of Yerrig turns to the massive statue. Drive away the last of the darkness. Usher in a new tomorrow. Broken clumps of snow spiral around her, before being dispersed by the wind. A single snowflake remains in the palm of her hand, a perfect, flawless hexagon. It does not melt nor flit through the air, it simply waits quietly like a guardian, unmoving for eons. Not even asking my opinion before giving this to me. You know I don't like taking the spotlight. You're just so willful. Nah. Thank goodness you're finally awake. Did I pass out? You did. Both of you did when Enya touched the statue. You've been out for about 5 minutes. Interesting. So yeah, Elena didn't get a dream. Interesting. Is it because she doesn't believe? I didn't think it'd be that short of a time. Did you see it? I did. I had a terrible nightmare. I was chasing down some game when my illness suddenly got a lot worse. My entire arm turned to stone. But then I saw someone who looked a lot like Kjeragandr, and she cured me in my dream. Then she comforted me, telling me the stone disease isn't Kjeragandr's punishment, and that I'm not a bad girl. Saintess, could she have been Kjeragandr herself? We found her, right? We did. That must have been Kjeragandr. That must have been Kjeragandr you saw. What are you two talking about? How come I'm the only one who didn't see anything? Don't worry about it. She simply gave us the answer we needed. Enya, Maybe I need to revise my hypothesis and calculations. If it wasn't a special vein of ore that protected Yerrig from catastrophe for a millennium, how add to that all we've seen in this cave? I still can't bring myself to believe in things like Fahrenmuts, which are completely incompatible with our scientific system. But having eliminated everything else, then the only possibility must be the truth, no matter how absurd it may be. Enya, could you tell me? The Kjeragandr you saw, what was it? Smile. The Saintess stretches out her hand, softly stroking the perplexed woman's head, treating her like any other devotee who has come to her for confession. I can't explain what the Kjeragandr in our hearts is in scientific terms, but as a scientist, how could you possibly fear the unknown? I would never. Kjeragandr might not be something completely incompatible with science. Perhaps you have discovered a little corner of a field that science has yet to set foot on. Oh shoot. What is it? When we were climbing the mountain, the catastrophe warning went up another level. Basically, within the next 3 hours, there's a 72% chance Yerrig will be hit by a second catastrophe. Enya, we need to go and tell everyone to evacuate right away. We won't make it in time. I still have one last thing I must do. Wait, where are you going? Elena and Joanna follow along behind Enya, the three of them running through the passage they came through. At the entrance of the cave, they see a familiar figure once again. They are unsure why, but in the short time they were away, the old man seems to have aged 10 years.
I saw her, and her footprints in the snow. I was an unforgivable, faithless man all along.
The elder of the Vinebeard Court falls to the ground as if all the strength has been sapped from him.
I once endured the tangling of love and pain alongside a friend, as we waited for daybreak to wash over the mountains. The road we walked was far longer than the road leading up to Carlin. You...
The Saintess's finger traces out a shallow arc across the old man's forehead, from left to right. Her fingertip streaks across his graying brow, anointing him with unmelted snow, like how the most pious of Yaric clerics would dispel spirits and make prayers for newborn babies.
I still remember her, the girl who would ask me to teach her, even when it came to darning clothes, how the living should be saved, how order should operate. Did you not know? But she was also learning from you. She watched all you do. She wishes to talk with you, whether you walk down the right path or the wrong. She never meant to deny you. Her Saintess has heard your confession, and in her name absolves you of your sin of disbelief. By Kjeragandr, you walk with her.
Unstoppable tears flow from his aged eyes. They seep into the earth like fallen snow. I must admit, I once looked down upon you, and upon Yerrig. That battleship behind you is the result of over a decade of painstaking nation building. Although, I'm not entirely sure why you changed your mind on keeping your secret weapon here concealed. But no matter. If one were to survey the entirety of Terra, how many people who could do all this would one find? You have earned my praise, Silver Ash.
I thank your grace for your approval, but as I see it, what is more regretful is that, if Victoria were still the mighty empire it once was, you would not pay much heed to the profit you could extract from a measly speck such as Yerrig. Who would have thought the prediction that arrogant youth gave during that one banquet would become so dangerously accurate? In the end, there are none who can save Victoria from its misfortunate decline.
Though it is not hard to see where history's river is taking you. To change its course requires the hand of fate on your side. There is pride you had in your foresight. I have never been scornful of your talent. In all truth, I had my fair share of wondering of how things would be now had I kept you in Victoria back then. Would you be a general with the name of Castor? Or perhaps a famed marquis? A future where I would not have curtailed whatever achievements you acquired. Regardless of the details, it would have been much better than the situation we find ourselves in now.
If this is what your grace truly believes, then I hope there is still the opportunity to accept such an invitation.
Oh, don't make that sort of joke, or I might just start expecting it. I presume you have exhausted all the words of rancor in your heart to curse my dastardly cunning.
I never had any in the first place. If you lose the wager, you must pay. This is the most basic of preparations any player of this game would have made. Besides, you are simply here to retrieve the profits you are owed from the many years of trade between Victoria and Yerrig. But no matter, I must thank you for coming here in person today to sign this agreement with me. You will be giving Yerrig a priceless opportunity.
A priceless opportunity? Let us return to the topic at hand. You being here must mean you agreed to all the contents of the pact.
All contents? I'm afraid not. I must assent with the agreement's particulars.
Oh, you still wish to bargain, even at this hour? Alright then, let's hear it. Which clauses do you disagree with?
I know you intend for Castor and Yerrick to start a joint mining program, so that you may partake in 40% of the extraction of Yerrick's minerals, including oranginium and or iron. By my reckoning, this number could be increased to 80%.
Oh?
Yerrick has ample mineral wealth, enough for the development of both our nations. Victoria will offer mining equipment and specialist training in Yerrick as a means of aid, and we are more than happy to welcome in the workers and technology consultants you send. However, we will from now on not allow a single Victorian soldier to pass our borders. Ah, yes. The one clause regarding the distribution of mineral extraction profits between Victoria and Yerrick, as dictated by equal negotiation. I have my issues with that as well. Yerrick shall have complete and absolute sovereignty over all resources within our borders. Victoria has no right to interfere. In regards to Victorian aid, we give our thanks. Victoria shall enjoy preferential prices for all commodities Yerrick sells her. Naturally, the aid you have offered shall be repaid in equivalent value, so Victoria must import a sufficient amount of goods from Yerrick on an annual basis, the amount of which shall be decided by Yerrick.
Don't be like this, Enceades. Such unreasonable demands ill behoove one conceding defeat.
Conceding defeat? I do not recall ever uttering such words during my time aboard the Gloriana.
Why exactly do you think I would agree to your revisions? You've lost your mind.
I have faith that you will agree.
What in the...
This is the bargaining chip I have brought with me today. I am terribly sorry. We are of the belief that using military force to dictate a bilateral agreement is hardly reasonable. But this may be the only form of negotiation you are willing to accept.
What was that? Who's firing at us? It's that battleship. Damn it, there's only the one. How can it have that much firepower? No, that's not it. Well, it looked like the cannon fire came from the mountains. Yo, they've got artillery! Those are like Londinium wall artillery. Keep them coming. Keep those hands moving. Don't give the Victorians a chance to breathe. You there, big guy. Can't you load these shells any faster?
On it, ma'am.
You shouldn't be moving her out so much, Russ. You need to mind your health. Shut it. And CD stashed some lovely little things up here in the mountains, and I finally have a golden opportunity to play with these new toys. On my order, aim at Castor's flagship, then fire. Let them get a taste of Kjeragandr's protection. Hell yeah. It's a smart plan. I mean, Yerrick is surrounded by mountains, so it's pretty defensible. So you just put all your turrets on the mountains. Yeah, Madam Serious, the mission Sir Enceades entrusted with us was intimidating Castor's fleet. Please keep in mind that he is still aboard the Gloriana. If you do not follow the plan, I shall be forced to stop you. I know. Sheesh, can't even take a joke. These are the secrets my sister and Enceades have been keeping quiet about this whole time. You really are something, Weiss. The Victorians were scouring the mountains for Enceades' arsenal, but they never would have expected it was right in front of their eyes in our logistic vehicles. I can't believe she'd hide this even from me, Tados. Next time I see you, I'm gonna... this was the most crucial mission CERN Studies gave me. These weapons, their scale, their very existence is Kjerag's greatest secret. Even now. We still need to keep quiet about them. Our biggest trump card is that the Victorians have no idea how much military power we have. We need to keep Caster's judgment off balance. Nobody can really say what would happen if her fleet really did take one step forward, after all. I'm well aware of the situation right now. You don't need to explain it to me bit by bit. But Tados, this time, make sure you take care of yourself.
Your Grace, we still have no way of confirming the artillery's whereabouts. We have informed all ships to enter defensive mode. No need for your report. All you need to know is that, at this very moment, there are enough large-scale cannons in Mount Carlon to shred the entirety of your fleet. All your ships are within range.
You think 2 shells is enough for me to believe you have the power to annihilate my fleet?
We could always annihilate your fleet.
And find out.
D5 east 200 meters.
Like, what if we just annihilated their fleet? You know, what if we just ended this? The moment Insidious speaks, a precision shell lands by the eastern flank of the Gloriana. The blast wave lifts up the hems of the pair's clothes. He still wants to trade with them.
Yeah, I guess so. It seems there is no need for further proof.
Surely this weaponry is not the product of your own research. Which of them has been helping you? Godwin? Normandy?
Is that really such an important question right now? You may have cut off Kjerag's connections to our allies, but we have our own ways of finding new ones.
Such painstaking effort just for your opening.
Merely tactics we were forced to use. With such limited time, Kjerag's military development had no choice but to pursue another specialization. Even if we are given another 10 years, I fear Kjerag would still be unable to muster up a fleet that could stand against yours. But it seems your formidable vessels have made you forget that the battlefield is not only a clash between warships. Kjerag only means to defend ourselves. And we have no intention of robbing another nation of their coin. So, compared to high-speed battleships, we went for a more suitable option. Our mountains form a natural barrier. When lined with artillery, they serve as a natural shield, an aegis you have no hope of breaking. But when all is said and done, if you had not prematurely treated these negotiations as a surrender, you would not have fallen into such passivity.
Then you are determined to open hostilities with me today.
Hardly. Just as how your fleet did not come here with intent to wage war on Kjerag, my goal today is simply to facilitate a discussion. I too have prepared an agreement for you. It contains various clauses on things such as tariffs between Victoria and Kjerag, and our joint mining projects. You may look over it now. Once you have signed it, Kjerag will be happy to escort you back safely to Victoria.
You think you can threaten me like this, child? You too radical a stance at the negotiating table will only serve to betray your lack of confidence. If I call your bluff and order my ships forward, then things will get ugly.
It would be an incredible shame. I had considered this possibility before I came to these talks. It's just that, if people far in the future were to discuss how the Duke of Castor and some insignificant nobody died fighting each other in snow, why, well, that would certainly bring shame to the Castor name, perhaps even all of Victoria.
But in Yereg, if I'm gone, there are countless others who will do what I would have done. They will continue developing Yereg until she has become a nation none can sneer at. I know that accepting such an unfair agreement must be a difficult choice for you. I can give you half an hour, but know this. For every minute you hesitate, all energy prices mentioned in the agreement will increase just a little, a condition Victoria cannot refuse. This is the price you must pay for trampling across our land. Ah, there's just so much blood. Dagenbrecker. She needs emergency treatment. You got any more bandages here? I'll go find some.
Dagenbrecker, how did you get so hurt?
She held off 17 Trilby Ashers by herself. She's something alright. The enemies retreat for now, so my team will take over guarding this place from here.
But there's still so many Victorian soldiers out there, what will you...
I'll keep going until my mission is complete.
More people are going to get hurt. Is something going on outside again?
Let me reconfirm. Orders are to carry out a frontal assault on the Vinebead Court, assault the Vinebead Court and rescue the abducted Victorian citizen, and capture Ratados, who might be carrying key military secrets of Yereg. Acknowledged. All hands load live ammunition. We storm the court. You. Before you is holy ground. None may enter as they please. Please leave. If you don't wish to be harmed, then let us through. That's an order. Are you refusing? You have obeyed your orders in coming here, so too we do obey Kjeragandr's command as we do the same. Let us follow our hearts and do what we must do. When did you get new clothes? Enya has changed into her most solemn of clothes, treading once more onto the road that tested the Saintesses. She thinks of the countless Saintesses of a millennia ago, who walked this rocky path. Her every step echoes with their across the ages. What wishes do they carry with them when they meet with the Kjeragandr of their hearts? Did any of them question the existence of their god? Did any of them receive her favor? As for her, how did she climb this mountain the first time around? It was such a long time ago. The emotions she felt have become hazy. Her memories of the time have begun to deform. Enya never thought this road could be so smooth, so friendly, as if she were taking a relaxing walk home, or preparing to go meet a dear friend whom she had not seen in a long while. Almost there. The gray-yellow sky is covered in thick clouds, streaked with faint lightning. Chill winds have picked up. She finally reaches the summit. Enya kneels, shuts her eyes, and begins to pray. Did she go back to the temple? Like, how did she get these clothes? Whatever.
If you can still hear my voice, if you are still the merciful Kjeragandr who loves all men who live here, my beloved Kjeragandr, this is the last time I ask that you hear my prayer. I have asked countless times what made Yereg Yereg, what made us the same, the way we are. Your existence might not be the answer to this question, but it is still a small miracle, one to rejoice in. I want to believe that the things you left upon this land are blessings, not shackles. Throughout the centuries, you have accompanied our civilization as it grew, as a loving and wise teacher. And centuries from now, the people of this land will have the power to move mountains and touch the sky, yet they shall still praise your name. We will remember your kindness. We will thank you for your companionship. We will leave the cradle of your protection. I ask that you allow me to be your Vicar, so that I may protect Yerrig one last time. This is my final prayer.
Light shines from her palm. A gentle force calms the raging wind, stilling even the flow of time itself across this ancient land. The catastrophe clouds begin to scatter. The dread disaster about to strike the land has been subdued by some awesome might. The clouds part, showering the devout woman in a kindly radiance. The wind stops. Okay, so she helped with that.
A catastrophe alert? Well, that's some good timing. We only just installed this warning device and it's already coming in handy. We need to inform the government to evacuate people right away. Oh no, the danger level.
The alert stopped all of a sudden. But how? This steep drop in orange energy fluctuations, are the monitors broken or... Ah, Kjeragandr. How does Yerrig do it? Is this a thing that Faramuts can do? The old man hobbles along the rugged trail, walking towards the depths of the mountains. It is where he has consigned himself to. He stops by the side of a cliff. Why do you wish to jump?
All my life I have lived a lie. I should have been her servant, but I deceived her, deceived myself. It was my arrogance, my impiety that led me down this undignified and evil road. I cannot forgive myself. All I can do is end this sinful life.
But if this is how you go, all the snows we can do is bury your body. We can't cover up your mistakes. No confession comes too late. You need only repent with your heart and you will be reborn. You know, I can't quite recall. Kjeragandr, is that what she said? As Yerrig's most knowledgeable elder, there is still so much you can do, right?
You...
The sky suddenly clears, the fierce sunlight dazzling the old man's eyes. He sees the rays of light tear through the clouds. His chest, too, seems to burn.
Is this a miracle?
Just this once, Enya. From now on, everything really is in your hands. Sorry, when the time is right, I'll come see you.
This is your final warning. The operation is not targeted at Yerrig civilians. Please leave immediately. If you refuse to cooperate, we will, or we cannot guarantee your safety.
The officer raises his blade high as he gives the civilians a stern warning, but none of them budge. Soon more and more people begin to gather. Clerics, craftsmen, herdsmen, merchants, they stand across from the soldiers by their own accord, forming a silent wall. One person squeezes out from the crowd. She raises her hands, walking between the two groups. Several operators dressed in Rose Island uniforms follow behind her. I'm the hostage you said you were going to rescue. The people of Yerrig never abducted me. In fact, it was Victorian agents who trapped me in there, trying to destroy the evidence I have of Victorian operations in Yerrig. They have even harmed people trying to protect me. All the evidence, that evidence you want so badly, is hidden somewhere you cannot touch. If you make any further moves, it will be immediately released to the public. If you still want to silence me, then do as you will. But these crimes you have committed on sovereign Yerrig land, under the banner of nobility, you will never be able to cover them up. We're not any sort of superior civilization. We're just better at cheating and swindling. Just stop it already. This farce. You. The gloomy sky suddenly clears. As one, everyone lifts their heads. The clouds covering the heavens disperse, replaced by a rainbow spanning the horizon, and so all cruelty and fear are wiped from the hearts of men. The sunlight dazzles the eyes as if it were advice, or perhaps deterrent. The soldiers cannot help but lay down their arms.
Time is short. I'm afraid that things will not turn for the better if you delay. What is your Grace's decision?
I'm suddenly reminded of something you once said. I could never imagine what sort of power a united nation might pose. Is today the day I get to experience it for myself?
What you see is but one minute aspect of it. If you ever have the chance to deepen your understanding of her, I believe you'll be very much pleasantly surprised. In truth, this is a topic I only fully understood long after I left Victoria. Perhaps I can also answer the question you pose me. Why once the great empires become feeble, and how poor lands can stand tall. A nation's government, its institutions, whether its leader is the Lord of Lions, or Parliament, whether Sanctus, or the clans. These are important things to consider, yes, but the crux shall forever be the people. Just as a great navigator cannot hope to lead a whole-pocked flotilla forward, no leader can change the fate of a nation using solely their own strength.
You say that, yet your words do not agree with your actions. Were you not prepared to change the destiny of all of Yerrig with your own two hands?
I believe in the people who live upon this land, people of faith. I know you have devised all sorts of means to confirm if the mysterious power of the famed Kjeragandr truly does protect Yerrig. What you see, what blocks your way, is indeed Kjeragandr's might.
You are the same as you ever were. Still, so full of mettle, so eager to display yourself. Impressive. This little gamble of yours has managed to get the better of me, but this time I will not let you off the easy way I do with mediocre men. And so... what is that? The people on deck look to the distance. They see the thick clouds layered across the sky be torn open by some divine power. They see the ancient Mount Carlon bathed in radiance. It is a beautiful sight, enough to stir the hearts of people and inspire reverence. It is her wrath, or her mercy. The word holy might never have come to the minds of the irreligious, but as this moment, the same thought blooms in the hearts of all. This is a pure land, one that must not be violated.
Your Grace, our intelligence indicates that this Kjeragandr has already vanished from Yerrig. But we cannot confirm what is causing this phenomenon in the sky. What should we do, Your Grace?
I had wanted to see this gamble through. But unfortunately, they have added one last weight to the balance, and we cannot stop the scales of victory from pointing their way. What more can we even do? Sound the retreat.
A satisfying battle. It brought palpitations even to my heart.
Arrival whispers and fragments of finality. A single boat that escaped the flood that sweeps all. Good luck, Terra. Huh? Saintus, the clerics who followed the sinner Udso in betraying the court have all been pled guilty. They are currently being kept in another one of our states awaiting your judgment. How do you intend to punish them, great Saintus? The great hall is deserted. The seats lie bare, even though they are full most days. Only a single young cleric sits before her, awaiting her word with bowed head. I have heard of what happened during the unrest. They were led astray by Otso and did much wrong, but I believe their hearts were always focused on defending Yerrig. Them stepping forward to confront the intruders is atonement enough. There is no moral nor logical reason to sentence them to heavy punishment. Have them go about the lands of the 3 clans. It is their duty to help the people complete their winter's farm work. They are also to examine themselves and ask how the scriptures they recite every day can be put into practice. Once spring comes, they may return to the court.
Yes, Your Holiness.
Is there anything else?
Great Saintus, may I be so bold as to ask you for guidance? During your pilgrimage, did you hear Kjeragandr's will?
Why do you ask? Have you forgotten that we should not demand she show herself? The cleric lowers his head even further, hesitantly speaking further.
Well, the people believe that when the Victorians invaded, she worked another miracle and scared them into retreating. I don't know why, but I feel like it was more of a wave goodbye. I think maybe around the time that catastrophe happened, Kjeragandr had already left us. If you wish to punish me for my impiety, Saintus, I will also...
Matthew. You are Matthew, correct? Can you tell me why you decided to join the court?
When I was younger, my parents had 5 children to feed, and our fields were not up for the task. They decided to send me, the youngest, to the court. They would save on having to feed one more mouth, and I would be fed by the court as well. I studied hard, of course. I've been carefully reciting the Kjeragandr these past few years, studying all my teachings. All her teachings. But I have seen Yerrig change a lot since then. There are too many things I never heard of, things that not even the Kjeragandr can explain. I had thought that as long as we had enough to eat and a roof over our heads to keep out the wind and snow, we could live our days in happiness. But why is it now that when we have those things that we become even more lost? Saintus, could it be that the people of Yerrig have strayed too far from the road she has shown us, which led Kjeragandr to leave us?
When has Kjeragandr ever shown her people one specific road to follow? When the first people came to these mountains, using their picks to split the frozen ground and their axes to hew trees for home, they could never have imagined that today the people of this land have fixed their gazes beyond the stars. But equally, Kjeragandr has never promised us a land of purity, eternally free from disaster. We will face ever greater threats, seeking our way through all kinds of trials, until one day we arrive before her and we ask her our questions about ourselves.
But Your Holiness, Kjeragandr is our greatest sage, our teacher, our leader. Does she surely have no commands for her people?
It is not a command, per se, but consider for a moment the most important wisdom Kjeragandr gave us has already been written in our scripture long ago, has it not?
Remember the path you walked, and let not yourself forget. Fear the blizzard that has yet to come, and let yourself not be ignorant or arrogant. Clutch your bows and arrows, pickaxes and hoes tight, and let not yourself be careless. Love your brothers and sisters, love your neighbors and friends, and love
the rocks and hills, the grass and trees, as you would love your own siblings. Heed these words, and no calamity shall prevail over you, and your home and hearth will be safe forevermore. I think they're failing that rock and tree thing. You need to make, nature crossings on the railway so animals can get across and stuff. That'd be nice. Still busy, Elena? Director Silence. I heard you're still handling the observation data from before. Hope I'm not disturbing you. I'm recalculating my models using the data I got from Mount Carlon. If all goes well, we should be able to get the precise location of where that extraterrestrial object fell on Kjeragandr. It beats running across the mountains looking for it. This is a major discovery, and it's all thanks to your courage and determination. You've done well, Elena. You don't need to praise me for doing my work, Director. It's kind of embarrassing. Oh right, heard anything new about Carolyn? Shakes head. You're never going to hear about Carolyn ever again, guys. We still haven't managed to find her, but our investigation over the last few days found a lot of definitive proof that she was in Kjeragandr as a spy. I'm sorry, but we have to admit these accusations against her were true. I remember the time I worked with her. Her face whenever she talked about the sky. I don't think you can fake that sort of passion. I don't understand why she would... Ideals and future are beautiful words, weightless and romantic without form or substance. But the people who are the vectors of those concepts, they are still weighed down by the gravity of reality. I hope that one day you'll have the chance to ask her yourself. Oh, I almost forgot. I read your report. Coronation academics could never get past the theoretical stage when discussing Fahrenheits, since they never found any real proof of them. Most people write those creatures off as mystical mumbo-jumbo. But now you managed to find actual Fahrenheit biosignatures in Kjeragandr. These incredibly rare observation data might even lead to a massive breakthrough. Did people not see the whale in Victoria? It will be a significant step forward for you to be the one to publish this discovery. Thanks, Director. But I don't really have plans to publish it at the moment. Oh, is there something else you were worried about? Oh, forget it. Leaving aside the fact that this was a complete coincidence and I only stumbled upon this stuff with the help of two friends, I haven't discovered anything amazing at all. Besides, our current understanding of Fahrenheits can barely even be considered superficial. I can't imagine publishing this would bring about anything except even more of a headache for Kjeragandr. If the thirst for knowledge is a scientist's greatest friend, then a thirst for quick results is their greatest enemy. Eagerness for success, eagerness for leaving behind your name in the books, even eagerness for an answer, something to prove you're on the right track. But I won't rush things this time. I'm not in a hurry to prove myself to anyone. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. People of the past made lots of mistakes as they explored Terra. Why do I need to try and be a wise woman who hasn't made anything? I still got plenty of time. Before I head off, I need to recognize that I don't know a thing about Terra. An impressive outlook. I respect your choice. Oh, shucks. I'm not impressive at all. Honestly, I just want more time to make sure this survey is the best it can be. This way I won't make a fool of myself publishing a half-baked paper. Oh, the calculations are done. Got it. We'll find it at... Nothing? No? Is the extraterrestrial object not actually important? Is it just a MacGuffin? I'm saddened. maybe it'll be another event. Probably not, but maybe. If it's a whole other event, it better be a UFO. I think it was just a MacGuffin. Is he still not back yet? I thought you still had some recuperating to do before you got out of bed. No need to worry about me. You don't know a thing about a warrior's mettle. It seems he had his way in the end. The two of them look around. The vast office feels more spacious than ever, much of its former decor having been moved out. Their conversation echoes slightly in the empty space. Hardly the first time. I was curious to see how he planned to clean up this mess he left behind. But it seems the plan was just to dump it all on you. Sounds like you have your complaints about him as well. Would you believe me if I said I'm fighting on your behalf? I never actually expected him to return. It's the same story every time. He's always this way. He always has his ways of getting everyone to do what he wants. Whether they're his enemies or friends and family. Never caring about what others think. Always making his own schemes, giving tasks nobody wants to do to the people around him. Then shouldering the hardest part himself. You're the last one still putting in a good word for him. In moments like these, I can only understand Enya and Incia's urge to slam his head against the ground. Alright, enough grumbling now. Moving on then. There's only one set of shoulders the heavy responsibility of handling Carlin trade can fall on now. Do your best, Chairman Edelweiss. I wish you the very best in your new position. I thank you for your kindness, but I am currently considering creating a special position for the Black Knight. Director of Public Relations, perhaps. Or maybe a brand ambassador. Things like that. Just know that it won't be light work. Alright, defeat me right here and I'll take the job. I forfeit. Nothing you can do then. Take care now, Chairman Gnosis. Wait, Degenbrecher. Are you going to leave? I know not everything happening right now is as he promised. Making Yerrig big enough for the both of us, that's what he said. While the stage he has set for us is hardly small, what he asks us to do is not as we first intended. So if you're feeling wary of all of this... Time flies. I've been working for him for a while now. Now that I think about it. Enjoying myself? Hardly. Feeling wary? I would not go that far. But there was one thing about your little speech. The ones standing in this room are not Insiudi's subordinates or attendants, and are certainly not cubs that need his care. We were never waiting for him to create something for us, nor were we expecting something in return from him. We each walk on our own roads that just happen to be going the same way for a while. So if there is anything you really can't get done without me, come find me. But there is one thing I will not compromise on. No promotion ceremonies. Smile. So we finally got a chance to meet Mr. Silverash. Oh my gosh. Is that President Mark Max and Vice President Johnson? I'm truly honored to receive you in person.
I hope your trip to the Snow Realm has been smooth so far.
Jackson? I was close. God, what was Jackson's voice?
We'll go with this. Smoother than silk, aside from my secretary banning me from skiing. That one's a mighty shame. First of all, I'd like to thank you. When I was talking with our scientists, they all gave rave reviews that when it came to Colin trade, providing them a safe working environment in Yerrick. Whether it's making sure the observation station was supplied during the catastrophe or providing the scientists during the unrest, Yerrick has shown the responsibility of a modern civilization should have. Ryan Lab's preliminary work in Yerrick is going smoothly, and you and your team deserve some recognition. We were merely doing our jobs. I hope this will make you believe just how much cooperation with Columbia means to us. Yerrick has made our preparations. We will do all we can so that when the next terror-shaking wave strikes, we can seize the opportunity. Future. That's a word that really captivates people. From a certain point of view, Columbia and Yerrick are both young nations. I believe that there are times that youth isn't such a bad thing, because it's the young who have the courage and energy to embrace the future one step ahead of the others. Oh right, on my way to Yerrick, I heard about a little incident that really surprised me. I hear your Yerrick had a little friction with Victoria's Duke of Castor a few days ago. So I wanted to ask, do you think Victoria is a credible threat to Yerrick and to the safety of Rhine Lab? Please believe me when I say that Columbia is willing and able to work alongside Yerrick to preserve the international order among the core nations. If you're interested. I thank you for your kindness, Mr. Vice President. Victoria is our neighbor, and they have always kept a close watch on Yerrick's development. On this one point, they are the same as Columbia. Oh, I hope that's not meant to be a criticism. Sure, since competition and friction are unavoidable, Yerrick has no intention of complicating such matters.
I just realized Insidious also has a bird, so they both just have birds on their shoulder.
What I hope for more is to be able to have an open and sincere dialogue between us. This ancient land of Yerrick still has many mysteries that urgently need resolving. We must keep in mind that this is the very reason we are seeking cooperation. History and religion. Ancient mysteries full of charm. One of the rumors I had heard said the Duke had retreated because she saw Yerrick's protector god, Kjeragandr, work a miracle at a pivotal moment. The Duke of Castor is a shrewd politician. A mere miracle would not sway her, I am afraid. It is simply that she realized if she wanted to achieve her political goals in Yerrick, she would have to pay a much higher price than she anticipated. This is why she abandoned the idea of making us her foe. A brilliant gambit, I must say, but in the eyes of others, this is also a signal. Within the landscape of the core nations, a new state has risen, and Yerrick stands ready for the next round of competition, which will be crueler than ever. Do you think this is what you intended? Rather than saying this as any one person's desire, I would rather say it as the inevitable outcome. Terra cannot give Kjeragandr the time we need to develop, and since competition and conflict are unavoidable, showing our neighbors our determination is not necessarily bad. It will let them know that Kjeragandr will not give up the chase simply because we have lagged behind a moment, nor will we lose heart in defending our interests because of a lack of military power. Through competition, advance development. Amidst conflict, seek peace. This is Kjeragandra's choice. You sure are something, Mr. Silverash. You're like a seasoned statesman when it comes to all sorts of things. Might be a bit bold, but would you mind one last question? You've resigned your position as chairman of Carlin Trade, and you've maintained the legitimacy of the Vinebeard Court in Kjeragandr. What would you say your role in the country is? A determined, proactive reformer, or a powerful warlord, or maybe the true power behind Kjeragandr hidden in the shadows? I'm afraid that this is not a question I can answer for you, Mr. Vice President. When people in the distant future discuss this period of history, see if they still remember the Silverash name. I hope they will see the name as one of the countless stones forming the foundation of Kjeragandra's ascent into the coming era. The manse is deserted. All is arranged as it was, yet shines as if new. Standing here once more brings only the sense of a lifetime having passed by. Master, you've returned. Oh, I have. Are my sisters not here? The young mistresses were unaware you'd be returning today. If I had known, I would have asked them to stay. How long has it been since you last had a meal together? No need to trouble yourself. There will always be time later. I think I shall take a little break today. It has been a long while since my last. If there's, then I'm afraid I shall have to trouble you with another matter. As it so happens, you have received a telephone call. Is it a telephone or one of those long-distance information transfer? One of those newfangled Colombian toys. Would you be receiving it now? Connect me. Colombia has long-range communications? That's news to me. Oh yes, I thought it might be you. All is well here, thanks to your aid with the prior matter. It was of highest importance to Kjeragandr. A victory. I don't believe we should call it that. Our patient setup and long-term build-up are receiving the outcome they deserve, nothing more. Save your suspense over victory or defeat for the next time we meet across the board. What? Yeah, I guess the doctor called him, which is kind of crazy that we have that relationship. Surface temperature 17.8 degrees stable. Radioactivity index 97.5 stable. All indices within safe limits. Target is stable. Proceeding with sampling. By Kjeragandr, this really is something that fell from outer space. This is not a MacGuffin. This really is something that fell from outer space. Didn't think we'd see it for ourselves. By Kjeragandr, indeed. Our Kjerag's been changing a little too fast. I feel like this looks like the presence, kind of. Come on. Hello? Helena, can you hear me? How are you doing in there? Hunky-dory? I don't feel too great, honestly. This new model of power armor is still not
too used to it. Everything's gone dark in here. I think I might have hit a power switch or something by accident. Wait, it's you, Director Milsies. You're blocking the camera. Oopsie, sorry. Look, there's no need to be so nervous. Most of the armor's functions are automated. Just imagine you're wearing a nice, thick hazmat suit. Also, Nasty promised me this model has a 100% reliable emergency eject function. It'll shoot you out to safety the moment it smells trouble. He'll shoot me out? What if I go too high or something? No, this really isn't the time to worry about that. Seriously, relax a little. This is your career's big moment. You know, you should be enjoying it. Alrighty then, already? I've gotten this far. Alright, let's do this. Deep within the mountain hides a clearing rarely set foot in by man. The mysterious object that fell from the heavens lies in the center of the clearing. Surrounding it are countless probes and sensors, like some ancient altar. Elena slowly moves the power armor forwards. She can sense countless eyes boring holes in her. Through the cockpit, everyone waits this historic first contact. The irregular indigo object is right in front of her. Elena takes a few deep breaths and slowly stretches out her hands. The robotic arms make contact with it. There is no explosion, or flash of light, or unexpected activity. It is like an ordinary handshake, as gentle as snowflake falling to the ground.
We've got a preliminary analysis of the sample, Chief Erbica.
What's it say?
The results are really surprising. We have no idea what 70% of its composition is. It's not any sort of material known to man. But it seems like its structure has been severely damaged. As for the remaining 30%, we're sure that this is fundamentally no different than between its main component and the somatic cells of Terra's elves. Oh my freaking god. It is the presence.
Did you say elves? But why would elves come from outer space?
What? It might be completely unimaginable, but based on what we've seen from the sample, the conclusion is clear.
If we're sure that this part of it is just like an elf, then wouldn't the damage to its structure mean that it ran into some sort of danger before it fell? So this is the meteorite you were looking for? Saintus, what are you doing here? Shush, not so loud. I snuck out of the court. I could hardly miss a chance to see our guests from beyond the sky up close. It seems rather more dangerous than I imagined. Unknown objects always have a certain amount of danger. It's fallen onto Yerig. Was it pure coincidence or some sort of unexpected favor? Or, to put it another way, what sort of casual relationship does it have with Kjeragandr's dormancy? Right now, we don't even know where to start with our research. The life of a scientist is bitter work indeed. Oh, what is the screen for? That's a sonographic imager. Based on our observations, its unknown object is constantly sending out a type of infrasonic wave. It's very regular, always repeating across the same frequency band. How curious. If it weren't for your explanation, I would have thought it was some sort of writing. Writing? The shape of this frequency closely resembles ancient Yerig symbols that were used to transmit information. It's very simple, with an extremely limited vocabulary. It's mostly carved on rocks or trees to inform your friends of prey's location, or the movements of a fierce beast. That sort of information. The similarities are striking, now that I think about it. Enya, can you read this language? Could you translate it? Only somewhat. If you want to decipher it, I'll have to go back to the Hall of Writings to find memory and symbols. I've got it here. Huh? When I snuck into the Vinebead Court, I scanned all the books they let you borrow the whole way through with my terminal. Just in case. Here. I didn't think you would. I'm begging you, Enya, please. Alright. I'll give it a try. Enya takes the terminal from Elena, and with some guidance she finds the relevant text. She looks at the diagrams in the ancient tome, writing out her translation snow with her finger. Destruction has arrived. Dude, 1100 sucks. Worst century. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I like how we've gotten 3 different explanations for elves. First they were from Sami, then they're from Mule, now they're from space. Also, side note, I love that we didn't get any sort of closure between Ratados and her sister. That's fine, I guess. Unless Mules is an alien. Unless Mules isn't a Fahrenheit and is just an alien. Oh my gosh. So the presence definitely is related to the elves then. So the elves are related to a star-eating alien species. And also the presence, like, see, the original theory, right, when we first saw the presence was that, and we had first learned about Oranginium, how it works, was that elves were pulling information from Oranginium like everyone else, and so it was pulling a personality of the presence who's in Oranginium, so the presence is already assimilated, right? It was pulling a personality, and that personality was in Nielses. But then it was like, no, elves are not from Oranginium, they're from Fahrenmuts, so they can't even handle Oranginium, right? So like, okay, well, it can't be that. But now they're saying there is a connection somehow between these two things.
According to the schedule, you should not be resting.
I don't even know. I don't even know where this is gonna go. I did call it that the presence, the priestess woke up the presence, and this is, I mean, we don't know if that's the presence, but it is seemingly related. I would imagine it's the same thing. And also, it's emitting text. It's emitting sound waves that are this text of ancient Yerig? Like, what? You guessed most things right? What can I say?
I know a thing or two.
Do not push yourself. As a leader,
It could just be
you should
emitting sound waves.
recuperate
I mean,
when
if it's
appropriate.
the
A
presence,
well-rested
and so it
mind
knows
is an
information
agile,
about
observant
Terra, it
mind.
might just be doing that because it
Can't
knows
finish
it
your
landed
work?
in Yerrig for whatever
You want
reason.
my help?
Like it chose to land in
Feel free.
Yerrig, so
拿来吧。
stop talking, Lisa. So it's emitting that because it's communicating with the Yerrig people, right? So it's not necessarily that like, oh, the Yerrig people met aliens or something and like spoke an alien language or something. I think it's just that it knows that it's in Yerrig, so it's doing that. But also, hold on. Timeline-wise, this is presumably has to be before the ice fields. They mentioned Director Mariam at the beginning of this, which implies Director Mariam hasn't gone missing yet. Which means it has to be before that. But in the Expedition storyline, Ulysses is discovering information about the elves and learns about Mule and the Farinmuds and stuff. But if this has already happened and she already knows like something to do with aliens, how does that fit together? We really gotta know about this Icefield timeline. It's really just there's so many things happening elsewhere in the story that it just isn't adding up at this point. First it was Kaltsit, now it's the elves. Even kind of the Aegir as well. With their technology stuff. What's going on? Great event, though. Cutting out the last part because, of course, I'm going to be excited about that sort of thing. Good event. I liked it. A solid conclusion to the Yerrig storyline. They'll probably somehow have more at some point, right? But of this general storyline, solid conclusion. I guess the alien thing could be the next one specifically for Yerrig, unless it goes elsewhere, but... And, Yera, I think, is probably the closest we'll get to an operator dying and, like, being removed from the story, right? Like, she's gone. which I think is neat. Actually, I think that maybe Beagle. Yeah, maybe Beagle. Yeah, maybe. I do think that operators shouldn't have plot armor just because they're playable. I do think they should actually have stories that can end up with them being taken out in one way or the other. Doesn't remove their... To me, that doesn't remove their value, I guess, in being a playable character. It's just, that's the story, right? Trying to think if I have any other thoughts. Not much. I think the two downsides, if we want to be critical of things, one, no closure on Ratados and her sister, like I said. I assume her sister knows she's alive. Is Cyrus gonna continue to be matriarch now, or is Ratados gonna take over again? I don't know. And then Framinex getting her new outfit was just so out of left field. Was she just carrying it with her? Like, altar-wise, the story is sound. Like, she has gone through a bit of a, you know, spiritual journey in the closure of her relationship with Yera. Sure. But where'd she get the outfit? Yeah, I would assume she has let her Cyrus just take over. I think that's it. Next one we have is another big one. Which will hopefully... Well, I guess probably wouldn't give us answers, but it'll be very interesting to see. "10-second summary of Arknights event stories of this one." Enceodes is an asshole, but you gotta respect him. You gotta respect him. Also, elf lore insane. What's happening? The end. Who's the first guy? Silver Ash. His name's in Cities. Can you repeat what you said? He's a big old jerk who I hate, but you gotta respect. You gotta respect him. Alright, yeah, so we got the nasty one. That's another big one. After that, ooh, Majetiketi, hell yeah. That one probably gonna be more subdued, I'd imagine, unless they pull something crazy out. I mean, they did it for this one. They pulled one out of real far left field, almost right field. But that's all. That's all for today. And thank you all for watching. Next week, I guess, is infield time. And other than that, until we meet again, may the sands of time treat you well.